Alrighty, hey everybody, how y'all doing? How y'all doing? How y'all doing? Thank you for coming back. Some people asked me to come back, so I came back. I was handling some business in the background regarding some things I want to do. So give me a minute, 1 second. I gotta find something real quick. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. All right, give me 1 second. 1 second. Okay. All right, y'all. Thank you so much for being here. I know it's late. But I do have a night crew. So I just want to say hello to my night crew. I appreciate you guys being here. There's a lot going on today. So let me just say hello to everybody that's here. I don't know, Sir Queen, you're starting this off wrong. I don't know if I should block you or welcome you to Avatar Nation. Just keep it cute so I don't have to become uncute. All right. Get right or get left. How you doing? Skid Row, how you doing? Sweetie Pie, hey Miss Bizarro. Truth and Reason, hello. Miss Owen Star, how you doing? Let's see. Grand Sukumata. Who you? Oh Lordy. Go in. Oh Lord, I don't even want to know what that means, but who are you? We ain't never seen you over here, but welcome to Avatar Nation. I don't know who Saluda Bull is. I don't know who a bull is, but welcome to Avatar Nation. Molly Mayback, how you doing? Sim, how you doing? I'm trying to read your comments in between. Okay, y'all talking to each other. All right, Sweetie Pie, hello. Let's see. Astro Kid, how you doing? Hello, Pink Table Talk, how you doing? Good to see you over here. Lemon, how you doing, Lemon? I know it's been a long day, Lemon. Hey, Voodoo Queen, I gotta get your name off the screen because you know it's all about that the name of your name. You know, I gotta get that off the screen. Hey, Heavy Bear, how you doing? Mad Hatters, oh Lord, how you doing? That avatar's kind of scary though, but the freaks come out at night. The freaks come out at night. Truth and Reason, how you doing? How you doing, Truth? Junetta, you may have been born in March, but you're always in my heart. How you doing, Janetta? Hey, Harmony, how you doing? Good to see you over here. Robbie on the rail, still in his Halloween costume, but good to see you. Nurse Shay, hello. Anella Valencia, how you doing? Brixton, babe. Venus, how you doing? All right. Alleyville, what's up? Alleyville? All right. Okay. I think I got everybody. If I didn't get you, I do apologize. Hey, fat girl, how you doing? No, I'm not making fun of her. Oh, wait a minute now. Come on now. Don't you say, hey, my adorable Sir King. You're adorable, Lemon. You don't know. Lemon may be An 800-pound man. You don't know what Lemon look like. You don't know if he catfishing y'all or what. Anyway, I'm adorable Lemon. Lord have mercy. Anyway, better capitalize on the moment, Lemon. Erica, how you doing? Erica Saliers. How you doing? Lisa girl, how you doing? Yep, I slept the evening away now up late. All right, glad that you're here. Glad that you're here. All right, y'all. I think I got everybody. Hey, exclusive me. If I didn't get you, I do apologize. All right, y'all. So let's get it started. So there's a lot going on today. I came back because people asked me to come back. We know about the whole Fyebabe situation. I came back mostly so that people can express their point of view. But before we get started, I want you guys to know that you can find me on Spotify. Right? I mean, not right now, but I've started something on Spotify where I'm going to start podcasts over there. I know a lot of people are scared of StreamYard and they don't want to come on the camera. So I'm going to do. Sweetie Pie says we like 800-pound. Okay, go ahead, Lemon. They like you skinny or big. Anyway, that's good. That's true love. That's unconditional love right there. But like I was saying, you guys can find me on Spotify. I'm starting a podcast up over there. We're going to talk about things more than just the area of this area of YouTube. We're going to talk about real world news and things like that. It won't be live, but the people that I'll be speaking with will be doing it live and things like that. So I know I have a lot of subscribers who don't want to come on camera, but we can speak live over there and then we'll just upload the podcast and do what it do. So it's people who want to speak about other things besides the beef and stuff over there. Okay. So let me share my Spotify link real quick. If you have Spotify, you can definitely look me up. I got everything pretty much set up over there. So all you got to do is type in Sir King Avatar Nation podcast and it will come up. You just got to follow me over there. Hold on one second. Let me drop the link real quick. Hopefully it'll go through. All right. So yeah, that's my Spotify link over there and stuff like that. I'll drop it a couple more times. If you're on Spotify, all you got to do is click that link. It will direct you to my show. Like I said, hopefully we'll do some things. Unfortunately, it's not live like YouTube, but you'll be able to catch us up over there on at work and things like that, and you won't have to use the YouTube app because I know sometimes at work they don't allow you to use YouTube or whatever, or you could catch me out when you're working out or you're trying to study or trying to get some sleep at home. Um, you can definitely just check us out over there. Like I said, we're going to try to expand the brand and not just have everything associated with the YouTube buffoonery and stuff over here. So that's what I'm trying to do. That's the vision. Like I said, I know I have a lot of supporters out there who just want to maybe contribute to a live but not want to do it via StreamYard. So I have a link for you guys if you want to participate in the podcast. And we can talk about a host of things. Unfortunately or fortunately, they're a little bit more strict over there. They don't like all that hate speech and that stuff that you get away with over here. They don't kind of play that over there. So, okay. All right. We'll discuss that later if anybody has any more questions about that. But that is my Spotify link. So I'm taking Avatar Nation over to Spotify. Okay. I just put it in there one more time. Okay, so y'all asked about Station Head. Station Head is specific to iPhone users, unfortunately. So I looked into Station Head, but Station Head is unfortunately to specific to iPhone users, and I currently have an Android, so I like Android better. I know people like iPhone, but that's not. They said they're gonna add the Station Head to Android soon, within a month. I guess they're doing the code for it right now. So someone's saying Station Head. That's what I was thinking they're doing. Yeah, but Station Head is not available right now for me, at least. So I got to use the options that are available to me. Yeah, I'm an Android fan. I had an iPhone. I didn't like it. I did not like it. I think I could do a lot more on an Android. Also, I can multitask. Also, Android has that picture in picture feature, so I could be doing a lot of stuff on my phone while also listening to a broadcast at the same time. I don't think you can do that on a I don't think you can do that on an iPhone. So that's the feature I enjoy most about the Android. So. Station head have a link to listen. I don't know. I looked into it. It's not compatible. So I'll keep looking into it. But like I said, if you want to check me out, feel free to check me out on Spotify right there. I'm trying to get approved or broadcasted or shared on a bunch of other platforms as well, but Spotify was the first one available. So feel free to check me out. All right. Thank you so much for your support. Feel free to follow me over there on Spotify. It does have a follow feature. So anytime I post a podcast, you'll be able to check me out. All right. It said check out TrueTube Esser King. Okay. Is the Discord still? Yep. The Discord is still up and running. The Discord is still up and running. Let me see if I can find it for you guys real quick. Give me 1 second. It's a lot of stuff going on. Hold on 1 second. Hold on, y'all. I'm trying to find the damn thing. Okay, here we go. I'm going to put the Discord link in the chat if anybody wants to be over at the Discord. All right, we just ask that you don't put no stuff over there that can come back on us. But that is the Discord link over there. Okay? All right. Yeah, I dropped the Discord link. The Discord link is there. What is that on the screen? Just Kim, that is my Spotify page. I'm on Spotify now. So feel free to check me out on Spotify. Okay. I put the links to Spotify on. Okay. I put the link to the Discord and to Spotify in the chat. So scroll up if you don't see it, and you'll have everything there. All right. Any more questions regarding that? And then we'll move on to the matters at hand that we want to talk about. Okay. Let me see what it's saying. Pandora, I was so familiar with Drawer, I just couldn't close out screens on. Yeah. Okay. Hello, Heather Hartman. How you doing? Robbie, the question is, when are you getting OnlyFans? I'll get OnlyFans when you get OnlyFans. All right, so let's move on from that. Feel free to definitely check me out on Spotify. So moving on from that, I guess we could talk about the whole Fyebabe and Bama Girl thing and all that. So I haven't been updated on anything else besides what I talked about earlier. It's a crazy situation. I don't think that there's going to be an amicable makeup regarding this. A lot of people have been chosen or had to force to choose sides immediately, including Rebel Sun, and we know where QE stood. I guess Joyce Bloss is staying with Bama Girl and stuff like that. So at the end of the day, it comes down to business. If no business was involved, I think they would have been made up and everything would have been fine and gravy. But considering the circumstances, I don't know. Like I said before, Bama Girl, I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on. I don't know. And like I said, I disagree with the way Fyebabe did or handled the situation, but she's privy to things that we would never know. So, but that's pretty much how I felt about the situation and stuff like that. So I'll drop the link now in case anybody wants to come up and say anything or share their own point of view about what's going on. But I just say this is business at the end of the day. This is all business. Business, business, business. The reason why people are reacting this way is because of business. It's about reputation and everything like that. So. Someone says, why would Fyebabe leave Bama a 7-minute voicemail? That's a long voicemail. No, not really. No, not really. I don't know if she was said she left her 7-minute voicemail or she was talking to her for 7 minutes, but I don't think it's a long voicemail. Especially if you talk about, hey, what's going on? I need to know this. You're getting me caught up in this. This is how this may affect me. Can you please get back to me? These are the facts. What's going on? I don't think that's too long. Concerning the severity of the situation. Hey, what's up, Lemon? How you doing?
What's up? What's up? Hold on. Okay, that's my mic. Okay. What's up?
No, I'm just talking about the whole 5A situation.
Yeah, that's what I want to talk about. I was so mad when I missed the other live. I had some shit going on, so
No,
that
that's
was
cool.
crazy.
That's fine. That's all right.
Nah.
That's fine.
So yeah, let's just dive straight into it. Hold on here. Echo, is that me?
Yeah, that's you. Something like you rubbing against something. Are you rubbing against something? It's like your microphone is rubbing against your shirt or something. I don't know.
How about now?
No, you good now.
All right, for sure. It was my mic.
Oh,
I still feel like I hear it though, even though it's not rubbing against nothing. Let me come out and come back in.
let me turn my volume. Is it me?
It could
Turn
be
on
a
my
volume.
volume.
I hear like a little bit of like a my echo a little bit.
I'll turn it down. Can you
You
hear
see,
it
let me
now?
talk some more. Talk. Okay,
You
perfect.
good?
Better.
Okay.
So so dealing with today, I felt like I was playing with like a double-edged sword because I wasn't over the whole Bama Girl situation. I feel like that situation still wasn't explained clear enough for me. I felt like do you know how like when people kind of give you bones and you sort of go off that, like if you read the chat and they say well, or somebody on your stream yard, they'll say something like, well, he considered you this, so that's why you said that. And you'll be like, yeah, that's why I said that because that's the connection we had. But the way you presented the story originally was that was your godson. You was very specific, so that part pissed me off. Still, she was sort of being spoon fed with the Streamyard people in the chat. That makes sense.
So pretty much you saying she was looking at the chat to go on how she should feel.
Yeah, and her Streamyard people because they were saying they were pretty much speaking for her, and she would co-sign it.
I think Bama Girl was lost in how to move, and she was taking the
But you,
advice of people in
hmm?
the chat and people on the panel to probably feel out how she should react regarding the situation.
I mean, look, I look at it like this: if I tell the world that somebody is my godson or whatever, but then I come on like a day or two later and I say, and then somebody in the chat or my StreamYard, they say something like, "Oh, well, he considered you that because of the connection y'all had," and then you like, "Yeah, that's why he said it." You should have explained the story like that from the beginning. You don't put it out there one way and then have to re-explain it another way. You know what I mean? To make your story less credible.
Well, that's the difference between a lie and a truth, right? The truth will
Hmm.
set you straight, but a lie will make you wander. Um,
Right.
because it
So
isn't
I was
based on
pissed. I
fact.
was pissed at that moment. I was pissed at that moment. But when she
Mhm.
dropped her link and she wanted to have a conversation with Fyebabe, I'm like, okay, this is better because they finna have this conversation that I feel like most people should have when if they consider themselves friends on here. You know what I mean? If it's been brought
Mhm.
publicly, y'all should just talk about it. So then when Fyebabe went live, I was like, no, that's the wrong move because when I clicked her link, she was going in on Bama Girl, talking about her physical appearance and all that shit. That's where I was like, okay, Babe, your approach to this whole situation is wrong because if Bama Girl is your friend, and granted, friends can get you into some fuck shit. You don't just dog your friend out like that publicly from her head to her toes. Like I was super disappointed because that's not the approach you should have took. It made her look even worse in this situation because if somebody is a friend to you, you don't dog them out like that publicly. Now,
I
the
agree.
first video, the first video when she was like, "I'm a distance myself from Bama," that wasn't harsh. This video today, totally out of pocket, totally wrong. That I wouldn't
I
consider that a friend.
I agree, but I totally agree. The way she handled it was wrong from a PR standpoint, but I could understand her frustration
Why?
because her Bama Girl is tied. That's what I was trying to tell y'all yesterday. Bama Girl is tied up in Babe Nation. Babe Nation, she's part of Babe Nation, so to say, she's part of her people. So she's affiliated. It's like you being on a team, right? If one member of the team does some crazy stuff, that's a bad look on the team. You may be your own individual, but you're still part of the
But
team.
but I get that. I get that.
Hmm.
But that's called holding your friend accountable for the fuck shit that they brought on the internet. That's not to say, hey, you did this, so I'm finna go in on your whole character and everything about you. That meant you always felt this way about me.
I
You
don't
don't
think
come up with
so.
this shit up. You don't think like
I
that?
don't think so because we're not privy to the behind the scenes communication. Fabe did say, "Hey, I was calling you. I was reaching out to you. You really didn't
Okay, let's say
respond."
all that was true. Does
Hmm.
that change the fact that you go in on your friend because of, let's say, they reported something that you feel like is false? Like if I said, "Oh, Sir King haven't hit me up today, but in real life we did talk behind the scenes," you gonna run to YouTube and go in on me?
She said that she was ignoring her calls and stuff. Like she wasn't getting back to her. You
I
see what I'm
get that
saying?
part.
Yeah.
Okay, okay, some lies was put in there, but does that change the fact that you should start dragging your friend about their physical appearance? That meant you always felt that way about this person. You don't come up, you don't think about this stuff in one day. It's something
I
that's been in
agree.
your mind, and you was waiting on a moment to go in on this person, and when
Well,
given the opportunity, you did it.
let me just say this. She probably garnered had those feelings once she saw that Bama Girl misrepresented herself. And then I think when she saw Bama Girl in person, she was like, "What? You ain't who you portrayed to be. We up here thought that you were dealing with a domestic violence situation where you said 90% of your body was burnt, and come to find out that wasn't even true." So I think a lot of stuff came out now because it was building up. It was a culmination of the situation regarding her, how she felt and what she was dealing with, but did not tell her that. You know. Because I don't think you know about the whole Bama Girl story where she stood up here and said she was in an abusive
Yeah,
relationship.
abusive relationship. She almost died. She was beat up real bad. Yeah, I heard the gist of it. I didn't hear the burn part,
But no,
so
she
that
and
part's
she
new.
was set on fire. Like she was set on fire. She told this long elaborate story, and I can't quote it verbatim because I'm not committing that to memory. But she did say that she was burnt up from a long, like she had all these scars on her body, and how her man loved her for her. And he didn't really care about what the burns or caused her body and everything. So I think that kind of pissed off Fyebabe. Was like, I'm expecting you to come here with some wounds, but your skin look good. I mean,
But we gotta
but,
play spade spade. Listen, a lot of
mm,
times, Five Babes on YouTube, and her live will end, and Bama Girl will set up a live and say, "Let's talk about it," and she will literally sit there for hours trying to. Ride for her friend, and because people will say Five Babe lying about this, lying about that. She'll host a whole panel, have people up there defending her when she's get caught up in lies allegedly. But the second that Bama Girl's caught up in something that's so big, you see yourself like, damn, I don't want to ruin myself. It ain't our friendship ain't worth it. So I'm gonna just drag you in the process to save myself. I don't. That's weird to me because there's been so many instances where uh Fyebabe was caught up in situations where she didn't seem so truthful, and Bama Girl hosted panels, but that could be Bama fault for even windmilling that hard for somebody who probably wouldn't do it for her. But I just feel like that's fucked up. That's not a friend to me. In a time like this is where you show if a person is really your friend. They don't turn their
well,
back on you and drag you. Business is business, but if a person really meant something to you, you gonna talk to them behind the scenes, or you're not gonna go in like that on them. You just not gonna
well,
do it.
well, let me just say this: if Bama, I mean not Bama, if Fabe said, "Look, Bama Girl, can you please tell me what's going on? I got my business caught up in the situation. Can you please tell me what's going on? Can you tell me the truth and everything like that?" And Bama Girl is ignoring her. I, I think a lot of people would get enraged. You
Okay,
know,
get enraged, but when given the opportunity to bring clarity to your rage, she dropped the link, and it was only for Five Babe. Five Babe should have clicked the link, had the discussion with Bama Girl before she ran to her platform, and then just played her live.
but
You're
that's not
not
a good
willing to have the
move.
conversation. Why?
That's a bad move because you see what that woman did to Miss Tina did, puts it on her Facebook post, right? She put those people on her Facebook post, right? So
Hmm.
what it would look like Five Eight being over there
So
from
you're
a
saying Five
business,
Babe was more worried about trying to not get caught up in the whole link with Bama?
right? She, like I said, this has the potential to become a natural story. The last thing I guess Five Eight, Ty, Sean Bradley want is Five Eight being pictured together on the same panel and having that be sent around the nation and forever. That's tainted, right? Because you got to understand this whole thing popped off due to a death.
Yeah, no,
So
no, no, no. I hear you. I hear you, but
yeah.
I just feel like in this situation, there's ways you can't handle things. I feel like in this situation, she was dead ass wrong because you can be upset with your friend. You can hold them accountable. You can totally disagree with everything they brought on YouTube and how this could affect you in the process. But everything else, the whole bitches talking about her mouth, her
Mm-hmm,
physical appearance, that
mm-hmm.
was not needed for this moment. This wasn't a moment of that. That wasn't needed.
I totally agree with you.
Being a bigger content creator comes with bigger responsibilities in the way you present yourself. And in a
I
time
totally
like
agree.
this, all you have to do is come up here and be super transparent about everything you felt towards the situation without all the fuck shit and dragging this person, because that make it seem like you was just toying with this person the whole time and you really wasn't ever their friend. And that's dangerous. You don't keep people around you, and the second they fuck up, you just destroy them like that publicly. I mean, granted, Bama did some fuck shit, and it should have never came to YouTube.
I
But
totally agree with you. I agree with you, Lemon. I said earlier, I don't agree.
yeah,
That's one of the critiques I have about how 5A handled the situation. You don't
hmm
do that. You don't bash people. You do it PC. You be like, okay, well, I'm disappointed in developments of the situation. Based on what I know, that's not privy to everyone. I just decided to disassociate myself with Bama Girl. Boom, that's it. But we know how
yeah,
5A is. 5A gets very territorial. She gets hurt. She'll start calling you out. She gets unprofessional. She starts screaming. She doesn't know how to handle those kind of situations because her herself gets emotionally invested in those things and sees it as a personal attack or a personal offense to her. That's her MO. She does this every time. The same thing with Tracy D. Tracy D didn't call her back fast enough. What happened? She went berserk on her. So
yeah.
that's
It's
her
just
MO.
unfortunate. I feel like when given the opportunity to show true leadership, true character, I feel like this was the perfect time to do that. And she dropped the ball. She dropped the ball. She even deleted the video. She said she was upset in the process, so she deleted the video or put it on private, whatever. But when you're confident in something you do, you will stand in it. She shouldn't have never deleted the video, because that spoke volumes, because they were on two different levels. One person was trying to have a conversation, and the other person was trying to say their YouTube image. You know what I mean? So I felt like they was just on two different pages. And they both dead ass wrong in this situation. Like I'm not on neither one of their side, but I see both sides though from the
You said she told you that she sent a wig to Mob Radio, right? So
yeah.
it's business at the end of the day. So she's worried about her brand reputation, and she don't want to be associated with any, I don't know, scamming or whatever. Nothing negative. Okay.
So maybe the Babe Nation allies need to be explained a little more, because from my perspective, it's more like from how you viewing it. This is all just like um, you say it's business, but business to me means I make money with you, and I don't feel like that's the same thing in return. Like I feel like Bama is just a friend of Five Babes who support this person, but Five Babe just now starting to run business with hair and all this other shit. But that's besides the
Hey, how
point.
dare you say that though, Lemon?
Hmm?
The only reason Bama Girl was in Orlando was due to Fyebabe. That when it becomes like that, that's a business relationship. That wasn't
But
based on
I
the
look at
person.
business like this. Business is we only discuss and talk about YouTube shit. Like that's it. When they texting each other, calling each other every day, talking to each other, that's a friendship. That's taking it from YouTube. Me and you, we don't text each other. We don't talk off. Like you don't got my number, I don't got your number. I don't be knowing what you're doing throughout the day. You don't know what I'm doing throughout the day. So we have a YouTube ship and kind of a friendship, but they have more of a YouTube ship, but an actual friendship because they communicate with each other behind the scenes off of YouTube. I'm sure they talked about so many other things off YouTube. So it becomes a friendship with business. It's both.
I agree with you. I agree. But you got to always remember where you met them, though.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. That's true.
I hate to say it like that, but you got to remember where you met them.
Yeah.
And
And
you
I
got to
and it,
understand, you got to know who you're working with. That person, we know 5'8" is the business first. So sad to say it like that. You're looking at it from the emotional standpoint.
no, I'm
I'm
not. I'm
looking
looking at it. I'm looking at the whole picture.
at,
I
okay.
really am. I'm trying to like when I watched this whole play out, I was like, this should go this way and this should go this way, but it went totally opposite. And I was just watching like a shit show. So
Mm, yeah, I agree. I agree. I
like
agree.
you say, oh, okay, you explained that already. I get it. I get it. I get it.
I don't agree with the personal attacks. I don't agree. I think that could have been handled professionally and that could come back to bite Fabi. I totally agree. That
Yeah.
was handled
Mhm.
unprofessional. And it also set a tone regarding Babe Nation concerning anybody else. This is how I'm gonna deal with you. And the people who support her know that, okay, well, she's only going to support me to this extent. If something pops off that does not benefit her, and I get into a situation that I don't expect her full support, you know?
Yeah, I feel
Because
you.
she's about self preservation. So
I mean, I'm looking at it like that. I was just like, I was shocked,
I wasn't.
completely shocked with the whole situation. Like, I knew she had to make a decision, you know what I mean? But like I said, I thought the situation was going to be like, listen, you fucked up. You put me in a situation that's very damaging to my brand. I know people out there in the chat saying, what brand? I get it. But so Fyebabe's looking at it from a business perspective. But in my opinion, I just felt like there's ways you handle things, and I felt like this situation was done wrong. Because I'm big on friendship, so to
Mhm.
see them just throw it away like that just showed me like anybody can go, and that makes people points be proven because they said QB's next, and I don't want that to be the case. But shit, everybody falling out with her, so it's like it might be true.
Right. Hello, Miss Cruiser. How you doing?
I Miss Cruiser.
Hello, hello, hello. I'm glad you came on. I called you because
Shouldn't you be cruising on
um,
the cruise ship?
don't make me cry.
Okay, I'm sorry.
I haven't cruised in 2020. It's so sad, so sad.
It's all right. We can.
Um,
There's beaches and ponds.
well,
Go ahead.
that's pretty much what I've been doing, sailing on little sailboats and things. Listen, so let's go with what you're saying, Sir King,
Hmm.
that it was a business move. But
Hmm.
how professional was that business move? How did it make her look when she come out and say, "Well, I knew, she was when I came back from Florida and I really didn't see any burns, or when she had the camera slipped, there was no burns." When you're saying that I doubted her the whole time, um, it makes people look at you, but you were going along with it. You were co-signing it. And then now that a lot of people, she's been kind of caught in this untruth and people are kind of against her. Now you're siding with her. I think that a better business move for her brand would have been to say, I don't like what she's doing. I talked to her by phone, then I couldn't get in touch with her. And I just want to make it public that I have nothing to do with that part of it, and left it at that and kept all the other stuff out of it. I think that really she did that. That's what she did before. She kept it real classy. She was good until the young man that was on the panel and Bama started saying, "Hey, well, if that's the case, if that's how you feel about, us, run us our vacation money." Did I
Hmm.
hear them say that right? And
Yeah.
that's when it kind of got ugly with Fyebabe, when she started, adding in all that other stuff, calling her names or whatever, whatever. It was one other thing I wanted to say. I'm really backtracking concerning Bama. Most of you know I often say my age on here. It's no secret. I'm 50 years old, which is, not old, but it's not young either. I have grown kids. Well, 26, 24, and 20. A lot of my kids over the years, a lot of their friends have called me mom or called me
Hmm.
mom. Um, College friends, high school friends, they've called me mama. But I've never took that as to mean that I am their godmother. Even if they, said, I feel like you're a mama to me, and they have come to me and talked to me about different things, that didn't mean that their family wasn't close to them. That didn't mean that their family didn't love them or they didn't have close loved ones. Young people do that as they go through transition and they go through life. They meet their friend's mother, or they meet somebody they work with that's older, and they may call. I'm sure my kids call some people ma or mama, but I think that people take that. You can't take that and say, okay, now I'm the closest thing to them. You know, they're just respecting
Yeah.
how they feel about you at the time, if that makes sense to anyone.
No, it do. It do.
But I think I have to disagree with you in that standpoint because the way in which Bama Girl expressed that was as if she was in that boy's life when he was young. Did she
Right.
say
I
now she
heard.
went from two to now seventh grade? So I understand what you're saying, Miss Cruz. When you have kids that are older, they may put that label on other people, other adults, but this seemed like she was associating with this kid at least from seventh grade, right? So,
Well, not to misunderstand what I'm saying. I'm not saying that to defend her.
hmm
I'm saying that to correct her.
hmm
Hmm.
I've had kids. Uh, my youngest daughter was a cheerleader. She's been a cheerleader since she was elementary school. A lot of those kids from middle school on up call me mom to this day.
hmm
And just because of that, I don't think that their mother is not in their life or their parents are not in their life because they've been calling me ma all these years. I
right.
just think that they've
Right.
known me for so long that, and they've come to me for different things, uh, um, that's how they feel, kind of. But that doesn't mean they don't have a mother. There was a situation where one of my daughters, her good friend lived with her. Her The father had custody of her,
hmm
and they had been friends since elementary school. And I had never seen the mother. And I promise y'all, I thought that the mother was not living, but I never said anything or anything like that. I didn't see this mother until they graduated from middle school, and I
hmm
was like, "Wow, that's her mom. That's her mom." But if something would have happened, I would have never said, "Well, she told me her mom was gone," or
mm
never,
Yeah.
I mean, I think that I don't, I'm still confused about if she felt like, let's just say if, because it's a part of me that wants to think that this lady is not that bad to where maybe somehow this guy is a big old misunderstanding. I just want to believe that, but but I just don't understand how she got that mixed up in her head, that just because this young man comes to her house and he calls her ma, that he doesn't have a family that loves him, that his mother is
Yep.
gone, or as in gone, not as in, she don't live around here other than she's dead. I mean,
Yeah.
that kind of, but my point to that is just saying that children call you mom. I mean, anybody in here who's a parent that have a lot of kids in and out of their house because they have kids, they know some of them kids going to call them mom. But that doesn't mean that you're greater in their life than their actually family members. That's my point.
Yeah.
But
I agree
yeah,
with you. When she spoke earlier, she made it seem like well, that's what he called me, and that's the kind of bond and connection we had with each other. But I felt like that's the way it should have been presented. And I granted you came online hearing about the news and you were sad, but she painted the picture as that they were closer than what they were, and I think that's where the problem sort of came in at.
Yeah, and that whole apology was a bigger insult. She further insulted the family.
Hmm.
It was a further insult when you double down. You Every time she speaks, she double down on it and
Yep.
insult them again. Um, and especially the cousin. It's like, why do you keep doing that? It's like you can come on and argue with everybody on YouTube without continuously insulting this family.
right.
I
I
agree.
agree. Hello, y'all. How you doing?
Hey man, how's it going?
Good
What
in
up,
Hey,
yourself?
hey, just right off the tails of Miss Cruiser, I agreed. That apology was a joke. It was a joke. And I'm very keen on apologies, as I'm sure others are. And it was just no self accountability in it. It wasn't an I did apology. It was if I offended you, or if I confused you, or if I misspoke, or if I made you feel a particular way. How you doing, Heather? But oh, what a
Yeah.
difference
See,
a day made.
right. See, I didn't even see the whole apology thing. The stuff she did apologize about, but I felt like even when the parts that I did here, because I was trying to bounce from different lives and get different views on it, um I felt like she still didn't like take accountability to how big the situation has gotten over here. It was more so trying to find different things to talk about, to deflect from the situation than just talking about it, because what I wanted from Bama Girl was to come online and address it by herself, because at the end of the day you brought the story on here by yourself, and that's the way it should have been. That's the way she should have did it. by herself, so everybody knew what was going on from her perspective, and we didn't get that.
We didn't get that. I wonder if what it would sound like if like Bama Girl, like without any influences, because it seemed like she was
Yeah.
being pulled. It did seem like she was being pulled in certain directions, but perhaps she was being pulled. Perhaps the people that she had put in place to pull her in certain directions was there simply because she wanted them to be there. She wanted to be pulled in those places. But just like from yesterday, there was a whole lot of talk of um like the ops and the other side. But all of that kind of talk was just distractions away from like the true culprit, and it was
Hmm.
her and her language, and she called it misspeaking, but other people are deeming it as being lies, just like flat out bold-faced lies. So,
Yeah, that's the way I looked at it. I didn't look at it no differently.
so I have a
Yeah.
question though.
Go
Y'all,
ahead, y'all.
perhaps y'all can help me with clarity. Did she actually say that she did? Did she initially say she never spoke to Fi, or was it something different?
I heard she said that she didn't speak with Fi. Then later in the live, she said I only spoke with her for like 2 minutes.
And
So
then
I'm
from
like,
the 2 minute, and then from the 2 minute thing, did you hear anything else like a different change, an additional change, or
not to my
retraction?
recollection. Not to my recollection, though.
See,
Oh,
and
hold
this
on.
stuff like it's little things like that that adds up, like that just kind of like points to the fact that she's not being truthful. Like, cause why would you like, you know what I mean? Like, why would you lie about that?
I got a question for y'all. Now, a lot of people were saying that Fyebabe knew something about this prior to Bama Girl bringing it online. Do y'all feel like she did know something prior?
I don't think it's fair to say that without any proof that
Right,
she
right,
knew
right.
prior.
Okay, okay, fair enough, fair enough. I was just
Well,
hearing
I
people say
mean,
that.
Fabi did say that she was following from the beginning. Like when Bama Girl did that live, then Fabi did her own research immediately. She started looking up the article, and she said she knew something was amiss or something was wrong even then, but she held off.
And pertaining to my question, I guess I'm having it confirmed now that I'm sorry, Bamber, she originally stated that she didn't speak to her, and when Fi got on live, even though the video is no longer up, and that's another thing that I question, but the video is no longer up, but she spoke against that, and what she said conflicted. So I mean, it's just these discrepancies, different things like that. Like either you spoke to her, you didn't. Like
Yeah,
no one attempted to give measurement like of how long the conversation was, but Bam, like that's what liars do. You understand what I'm saying? Like those changes. You know what I mean? Like either you
yeah,
spoke to her, or you didn't. Like
yeah,
don't come back later and be like, oh well, I really didn't count it because it was only 4 minutes. That wasn't a discussion. That was, you know what I
yeah,
mean? That wasn't a topic.
yeah. You can't dispute the text messages. Fyebabe definitely had to prove that they were speaking behind the scenes, but I felt like in the situation with Bama, she handled it wrong. As I'm looking at it from a friendship perspective, so yeah, they both dropped the
Yeah.
ball in this situation.
Yeah, and every like criticism or speculation towards Bama doesn't have to be true. I mean, I could give that much. I could, say that much. Everyone, everything thrown her way may not be true, but just the way she's moving, like, and just the discrepancies and the inconsistencies and what she's saying, like, it's kind of like prompting other people to really believe everything,
Yep.
everything, because she's the one that seemed like she's not being candid, transparent, and honest. But
No, I agree with you. I agree with you.
yeah. And I would never be able to begin to understand like why she would say, "Oh, could you correct me on this, Sarah King? Did she say that the guy told her that?" I'm trying to get clarity on the gone. Was it gone equaling death? Like, did she say gone or did she say gone to glory?
She just said gone. So that's the
Okay.
point of that I had too. Was like, okay, did you mean she gone out of town or she's gone? Like no longer here?
Yeah,
But
I
she
got
said
a
the
better
word
and with
wrong.
no,
question.
that's so vague and so open, and
Yeah.
with nothing like else detailing like it. Like I don't see how anybody can reasonably take that and run with it and say, "Oh, well, then that means death." You know, like just the word
Right.
gone.
Because on her community wall still, I saw about a few hours ago, she still had that post that said, don't donate to the GoFundMe. And I feel like if you're really close to the family and they do actually do have a real GoFundMe, that should have been deleted and the real one should have been posted up there so you can correct your mistakes. And she misspoke, right? That post is still up there basically saying don't donate to the GoFundMe page and stuff like that. So it's just weird to me. This whole
Mhm.
situation
Yeah,
is very
why didn't she
weird.
say don't donate to any other GoFundMe
Okay.
except for
Yeah.
this
Oh,
GoFundMe?
hold
Except
on.
this.
Hold on one second. I got a person in the back, so hold on. Let me
Okay.
answer that question real quick for you guys. So first of all, there was a rumor going around that Bama Girl had created a GoFundMe regarding this. There was a rumor that was started. So Bama Girl, in order to clear her name, said don't donate to any GoFundMe, not knowing that the GoFundMe was started by the actual family. So she was trying to clear her name and say don't donate to any GoFundMe, which probably hampered the family's efforts to raise money. Now let me give me one second. I got to bring this person on the back, but give me one
Okay.
second.
And I want to answer Pizarro question.
Well,
Pizarro, I've been watching the beef sector since the end of February, pushing into March. So I've probably been here around like 8.5, 9 months. That's it.
Okay, hello. Who is this?
Hey, it's Lee Q. Hey, Sardine.
What up,
Hey,
League U?
Lemon.
Hello,
Hey, how
Miss
y'all
Lemon.
doing today?
Good. How are you?
Good and you?
Doing good. Sitting here listening to y'all's live here, and I just got through doing one just talk. I'm done. I'm done. And she did say the mother went to glory in her first live. She said the mother went to glory. The father had not been in the child's life, and that child was her family was all that child had. She said that. And then in the next live, she said she didn't say that, her family was all that the child had. I just personally think that she just should have made the apology today and have just left it at that in some sort of pre-recorded video. But instead, it was just her, it seemed to me, trying to dig in, 10 toes into her lies and to stand in the lie and not to stand in the truth. And so I'm very disappointed in her. And this is, I've
Mhm.
supported Bama Girl and I'm done. I'm done.
So,
I'm
so on
so
your end, there's nothing
sickened.
Bama Girl could say to redeem herself.
If she was to come out and just say, hey, I apologize, to the family, because the thing is, to me, Lemon, when these type of situations happen, they're so tragic, and when death happens so quick, you don't get it to say goodbye. It's not like someone that is going to die where you get to say your goodbyes. It's tragedy. So on top of the family having to deal with this tragedy, they're having to deal with this drama that she has created this. She has created all of this extra drama that the family did not need while they were mourning. And instead of
I agree.
respecting the family, she continues to come online, and even though they're telling her, please stop, she's live again today. And then when she comes live, she's telling us that if we're questioning her integrity, F us. No, I say F you, period. Like,
Yeah.
it's so all sorts of wrong. And I just feel like if she just would have came on, gave an apology, and been done with it, really quick 1 minute, 2 minute video, like it's something sincere, that would have been much better than sitting on a live and bashing and then lying about how, I wasn't contacted behind the scenes. We now know that's not the case. And it's just receipt after receipt after receipt coming out. And she's just denying and lying. And like I said, standing in her lies instead of trying to stand in the truth and stand
Right.
in her crap. And it's just so offensive. And
So,
it is so offensive.
do you feel like too much time has passed for her to be able to then come back and sort of give an apology and an explanation to the stuff she created on YouTube?
I don't think it's ever too much time has passed. I think that if she were to private all of these other videos, make a sincere apology video, that would go a long way in what she is doing right now. And I have to also say that the 19 ads that she went into the YouTube creator studio to add to the last video was very offensive too. There's
Oh
a
wow.
lot. I mean, we're talking every 5 minutes an ad was popping up.
Wow.
Every 5 minutes. And she would have had to have went in and did that manually. And she added all the ads towards the front of the video because most people drop towards the end of videos. That's common. And so, and that's, she did it on that video, and she did it on the video she did Tuesday nights. There are so many ads in that video that I was the first one to say, I didn't see her ask for a dime. And I will still stand to that. I have never seen her ask for a single dime. But why are you adding all of these ads to your videos? Because you know that these videos are the highest amount of views that you've ever gotten. And it just makes me sick to my stomach.
Well, you see, Leaky, what she's doing is she's really catching herself up in the situation, because the person who, Miss Tina, they say has a background in the situation regarding, fraud and stuff like that. So if her whole reason for coming forth and stating this erroneous information was for monetary gain, she may be catching herself up in another way. So
Yeah,
I don't know. Mhm.
that's a good
One thing
point.
that she could do at this point, this is something that she could do at this point, and she should have done it today. She can come back and say, you know what? I care for this young man more than I care for all of this stuff. And for that reason, I'm going to put these videos on private or delete them, and I'm going to say nothing else about it. I apologize to the family, all of the family, including everybody in the family, and that I'm going to back down because I care for this young man. That's her admitting to any. She's not admitting to anything, but then she's not further insulting the family, and she's backing away. Because I think at this point, there's two things going on here. There's people who are happy they just caught her in a lie, and it discredit her, and it discredit a particular side. It discredit, in their mind, it discredit Babe Nation, and so on and so on and so on. Because everybody know in this area of YouTube, people take sides, and I'm on this team and that team. So, uh, um, so that would take care of that without bringing any further damage. So there's people who are just happy that it happened because it just discredits them. But there are people
Hmm.
who is just genuinely upset with her because another black man has lost his life behind a, a police killing, and they're feeling like she's being extremely insensitive to this and this family. So if I was a friend of hers, I would tell her, look, say no more. Don't defend it no more. If you don't want to come out and say, you know what, y'all, I got caught up, I was wrong. If you don't want to do that, then definitely don't come back out here and double down on the same lie. Just come on and say, you know what, I'm going to, throw myself on the sword for this one because of the young man. Try to at least try to pretend like you care about the young man more than you care about people
Exactly.
believing your story.
I
Yeah, and like
agree.
don't insult people's intelligence. Like leave the extraneous points alone or non-points alone, such as, well, I know that he talked to me about ice, and I know like that's not what we're discussing here. Like, oh, I know he been in my house. Like that's not what we're discussing here. Like I can always just like spot a lie. Like I'm not lost on her at all. She's not speaking the truth.
No, and the most horrible thing of all of this is that it has taken away from the very story that people need to be talking about. And that's the disingenuous part. And to continue to come out here trying to double down on that, on the lies, it makes her, it just seems so disingenuous to me. And it seems like a selfish thing to do. And
Hmm.
it's appalling in my opinion. And so I have been a supporter of Bama Girl. I'm not a part of any nation, but I have supported her, and I can no longer support her
Right.
anymore at this point.
I agree with
Someone
Miss
said,
Cruiser.
I need to say this real quick. Somebody
Okay.
said that it wasn't a police killing. Um, the it, okay, so they're saying that the young man died by a self-inflicted wound. How do they know that? If they shot him more than 20 times, more than 25 times, how do they know that? How do they
There,
know it was self-inflicted?
there's video that seems to lead to the possibility, and we won't know this till we get the autopsy report, that that he self-inflicted a gunshot, and then immediately the police started shooting. And we
How do
don't
we
know this
know
for facts
which
yet.
how do we know which shot or which wound was the actual one
I don't
that
really
took
want to
his
get
life?
into that. I don't really want to
Well,
get into that.
I'm not. The only reason why I got into that is because somebody in the comments said it wasn't a police killing. So I
I
just
don't,
want to,
but that's
and I'm not going to go
that.
any further into that. I just want to bring out,
Mhm.
because we're not wanting to go into that. But the truth is that that's where we should be, rather than this foo-la-la
Yeah,
between
I agree with you.
of a beef on YouTube. You know, um, really, we're
Because
talking
I mean,
about
even if you were to look at
significant,
the facts of the situation,
important stuff. But I understand what you're saying.
yeah, I
Um,
don't want to get pulled into
but
how
I'm
that.
I'm a I'm gonna slide off on that. But thank you for letting me come up and say my piece on that.
No, I'm not trying to censor you. I just know how things, the family is watching certain things, and I don't want us to get brought into the conversation that we're questioning his death and how he died. And I just,
I understand. I
mm,
understand.
And I agree with you, Miss Cruiser, with the whole private in the videos, making a small little apology video to everybody, and
Yeah,
no longer speaking on the situation to make anything worse, or you know, make the story get any more attention, unless they focused on the issue. So I agree with you with all of what you said. So.
Right.
Yeah.
And why
yeah.
is that? Like, why are the videos like disappearing, like and being snatched off?
I'm unsure. I'm unsure. I feel like some is still up there, some isn't. It depends on maybe how many dislikes and the comments that was happening in the video. I'm unsure. It happened so quick. So one minute is there,
Yeah,
the
the
next minute is
dislikes
gone.
are excessive. The dislikes
Yeah,
are very much so excessive, and they should be telling her something.
Yeah.
yeah, it's unusual.
Yeah, you
You
would
know,
think.
And my question to you, League,
you
you
gotta take
is
the good back.
you like Fyebabe and Bama Girl. Um, you watched Bama Girl video today. You watched Fyebabe's video today. Did you feel like
Hmm.
Fyebabe's response video was appropriate in this situation dealing with Bama Girl? Although Bama Girl did create this fuck shit up a tornado.
You know, that's a that is a hard one because I know that Fyebabe was dealing in emotion when she did that, and she felt very angry to see, Bama Girl go live. I think when Bama Girl said, for those of you questioning my integrity, F you. I think if Fyebabe has evidence that she had discussions with Bama Girl and Bama Girl's flat out denying it on her page, then that I feel drove Fyebabe to go live and say, huh, and we may not always do things, you know, the proper way, so to speak, or may not say things in
Mhm.
a calm manner when we're emotionally upset. And we do have to think about the fact that they were pretty close with each
Yeah.
other. And it's like she feels she's being lied on blatantly, and it's like the lies just won't stop. So yeah, I do
But
like
but to
Fyebabe.
an
I'm not an
extent,
enemy. Go for it.
to an extent, I agree with you. You said the lies just wouldn't stop, so she felt like,
Yeah,
listen, I'm being pushed into this corner. I got to come out swinging, and I feel like that was not the case. When Bama Girl said, "I thought you was my friend. We were communicating X, Y, and Z. I'm finna drop this link for you, and we can have this discussion right now." She didn't use that opportunity. I feel like when the link was dropped, 5A went live on her channel.
you're right. I do agree with you. Do you think that she should have jumped up on Bama Girl's platform at that point to
Yes,
address
yes,
it one on
yes.
one with her?
Yep.
Yeah, that could have
Because
been
do you
a good
remember
way to
when
handle that.
Do you remember when 5A was beefing with Demi and her mother,
Mm,
and
yes,
she went live and she said, "I'm finna drop this link right now since you such a badass. Click this link." And she pretty much called out Demi or her mother to click the
right.
link in that moment when she was talking live, and they didn't do it either. But I feel like the same olive branch was extended to Fyebabe. She didn't do it either because in this time, if Bama Girl was a real friend to you, you would have at least had the conversation. Now, had it one left, go to your platform and talk about it. But she didn't
Yeah.
give it a chance.
Yeah. I mean, that's a good lesson, I think, in strategy moving forward for any future situations that may happen like this.
Hmm.
But this is a big deal. I mean, I think this is probably one of the biggest type scandals that have happened this year in 2020 in this sector, to be honest. Probably the biggest one.
Yeah,
So,
I agree with you.
how do you handle it when you've never been through a situation before and you're newly, trying to get your business off the ground and it's just, we wouldn't even be in this position if Bama Girl would have came out Tuesday night and made that video.
I agree with you.
None of this would be happening. So
Bama created this storm. Bama
she
created this
created
storm on
it.
her own. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Hmm. I
Absolutely.
just
And I really
I just
tried
hate
not
a
to say
friendship was lost in
anything.
the process, but it
I
is what it is.
know.
But
But do you
in
want
my
a
opinion, when
friendship
Bama, nah,
if they're
when
lying?
Fyebabe said what she said about Bama, I felt like she always felt that way though. You got to admit that.
Yeah, yeah, I do. I agree.
Okay.
I do
Okay.
agree.
Hold
Yeah.
on, hold on. I have somebody in the background. Hold on 1 second.
For me, with some of the things she said,
Hold on, y'all. Hold on,
it's
y'all. Hold on.
tricky.
Yeah, hold on. Hello, who's this?
Simply,
Okay, hey, Simply, how you doing?
Hey, what up, Simply?
hey,
Yeah. The only reason why I said that was because when Tracy D, I don't like believing the op. I won't even call her the ops because I'm not in none of this shit no more.
But I think y'all not looking at the situation though. We just had an example of why Fyebabe would not pop up on that platform. Miss Tina on her Facebook post had put the images of avatars of people such as Rebel Son on Bama Girl's platform.
And I
So
get
I
that, Sir
think
Key.
Hmm.
okay, but I think Fyebabe was looking at that. She cannot have herself caught up in something that could be a potentially a national story. So
And
she's
I
not
have
going
to
with it.
agree with you too, Sir King, on
So,
that because yeah, I mean it's a luck of the draw there on the choice that she would have made.
so
It's sad.
Yeah. What's up, y'all?
didn't the family initially try to reach out to Bama and her during her live, but they shut it down by like trying to block them and making it seem like they were trolls?
Yeah,
Yep.
Yeah, they
of
did.
course.
Yep. And
I
that was
wonder if
very
that's one.
offensive.
I wonder if that's one of the videos that she took down. You wonder because that's
I think
damning.
so.
Yeah.
I think so. I really
Yeah,
do.
because we could see like her effort to sabotage the family initially trying to reach out to her. And the reason I say that because it was backlash on the person who picked it up afterwards. You know what I mean? Almost as if
Hmm.
they knew that Bama was going to try to sabotage the family from contacting.
Nah,
It
right.
doesn't
Well,
make
I mean,
sense to me.
Yeah.
they were up there bullying the woman in the chat, saying that she was a troll. She said she didn't understand. She was having a problem getting on StreamYard. Then he was sitting there saying, because like I told people last night, if you're not familiar with StreamYard and you're coming from another platform or
Right.
just from the general public, you got to grant StreamYard permission to your camera, your mic. And then on top of that, if it's asking you to authenticate, it's really an intimidating process. So
Right.
she was telling them that she couldn't get on, and they're like, "Oh, you a troll? You can't get on." But this is a serious subject to you, but you can't get on. So they were just real hostile towards the person.
Well, my
Uh,
thing is, did you see the link? Because I was in there and I know they kept saying they were dropping the link, but I couldn't see the link and I had the
What? Drop the
live.
link for Fyebabe?
Yeah, or no, for the family. Like I was in the live
Oh.
mode to look at all comments and I did not see that link
mm,
drop. And I do have the screen recording of that and so I know that other people's were saying they couldn't see the link. I did not see the link, drop. When you scroll up on the comments, you can only go so far on a phone. Maybe she was on, a computer and she could have seen that, but I couldn't. So I don't know that, it'll be
when,
for others to
and
find, but I never seen it.
another thing is, a content creator, you tell your moderators to stand down. Their
Right.
moderators were being too intimidating and like we
Yeah.
blocking this, we blocking that, and so
Any comment that they didn't like was
Yeah,
getting
like
sniped out.
I got a
it was
question.
certain people that I mean they kind of stood out as soldiers of they were like enablers, in a sense. And it was just for the wrong, for what I mean, not for the better, but what I mean, for the worse.
right. Go ahead, simply. Hey, I know you've been waiting patiently.
Yeah, I just came up here with one question because I'm confused now.
What up, Simply?
Hey, Lemon. I don't understand. I saw a video just tonight where that lady Grish or whatever, Informant Sugar, whatever, dropped, and it had Bama Girl's voice on there, and she was saying, "Oh, I'm doing better day by day," but it just took us 5 or 7 minutes to get 5A out the car. So 5A went with her.
Did what now?
I thought I
Did
heard that.
did 5A go
They
with Bama
dispute.
Girl?
They dispel that. They said that I watched Read the Heart of Philadelphia prior to this live, and they was talking about that moment where Bama Girl mentioned that, but they said that Bama Girl confused Fyebabe with her son Gucci. She didn't mean to say Fyebabe because Fyebabe ain't out there where Bama Girl is right now. If
Oh,
y'all
okay.
I
watch her
thought I
video,
heard it.
she's recording from home, so it's impossible to be at two places at one time.
Oh, okay,
Right.
because that had me confused. I was like, what?
Yeah,
But
so
that's all I.
Fyebabe wasn't there. Yeah, Fyebabe wasn't there.
Oh, okay. See y'all later.
All right, take
All
care,
right, bye,
Simply.
Simply.
Thanks.
No, another thing I wanted to bring up real quick was though we talked about that situation, Leak you with the whole Five Babe situation. So
Hmm.
you see yourself still being more closer to Five Babe, right?
Well, I mean, you define close. I mean, I
Not
know
close. I
of,
mean, like you cut ties with Bama Girl based off of
yeah,
what
I'm
came out.
done.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that was my choice, and it had nothing to do with Five Babe. I mean,
Hmm.
the friendship there, I can put it like this: me and Five Babe have never had any one-on-one communication. I don't even go in her chat, anymore. Um, I can say that there's not like a close friendship, but there's no enemy feelings there with her.
Okay, I feel you.
I watch her from time to time, just like I watch any other content creator out here. So, if Fi Babe would have did something like this, I would be making the same statement
Yeah,
straight
I
up.
agree.
You
I feel
know,
like you would.
So, I roll solo. I've learned out here on these YouTube streets that you just can't have a lot of close friends out here as a
Hmm.
content creator because there's so many ready to just become friends with you, just kind of get close and, get
Have a falling
information
out
and
with
then,
you. Yep.
yeah, to start a
Hmm.
beef with you and stuff like that. So I keep everyone at a distance pretty much. And that's how I will continue to roll. So yeah, I got a lot of flack for just dropping down in Five A's chat at times. It just became too much. People were making videos just about me being in her chat. It's crazy. So yeah, that's pretty much
Yeah.
how it is.
It.
But
Yeah. I'm with you. I feel like
yeah.
me being really new over here, I came in at the same probably the same way you did, supporting
Hmm.
one person, and it
Right.
does come with a lot of flack because when you initially show support in people's chat, they feel like you agree with everything that this person is saying, and you
Exactly.
you could pick up their beef. You could pick up their beef in other chats. So yeah.
And that did start to happen. And I'm just, I think there's some people's chats I'm not welcomed in because of me
Yeah.
being seen in her chat. And it is what it is. People are going to say whatever they're going to say, but yeah, I ride solo dolo, and that's the best
Okay.
way to do it out here. And I would that would be my advice to any content creator that's out here trying to grow, is do what you want to do, and don't let anyone control you on whose platform you go to. Like I love Sir King's platform. And I have no shame in dropping down in Sir King's platform. But if I was aligned with certain people, it would be an issue. And it's like, that's an issue you're going to have because you're not going to make that my problem. Leaky is going to do what Leaky wants to do. And if you don't like it, then so be it,
I feel you. I agree.
And I dang sure wouldn't be telling people to unsubscribe from Sir King. You have a lot of
Yeah, well, Five
power.
Babe, that was a moment where I stepped back from Five Babe because I watch every day to like Sir King platform. I'm on here, and I'll catch
Yeah.
her video. So when I saw her say that to about Sir King platform, and I know he been nothing but gracious and nice to her, try to extend the olive branch. I'm like, I'm kind of cool off you because now I'm starting to see what everybody else is saying. So I sort of took my cape off, and I've been just rolling solo since.
Yeah, it's the best way to roll out here in this
Yeah.
particular sector. Never mingle,
Mhm.
as they
Never me,
say.
never
Yeah,
mingle
I
for real.
mean,
Because the moment they
do it
got you,
all
it's a
in
wrap.
public. Yes, yes,
Yep.
do it all in public. That way, no one can question if there's any behind the scenes stuff going on. No one should be able to question me on that. I do everything out in public on purpose, and I just let it be known that I'm gonna go where I'm gonna go, except for some people who may not be welcoming to me in their platform, just
And
because
I hate
where I've been.
and I hate to say the people was right, but it was a few months ago. They said, Lemon, it's gonna come a time where you're gonna realize everything that's going on and all this stuff. So to everybody out there that gave me that initial warning that I will, see the
Yeah,
light, it's
thank
crazy,
you.
but it is what it
Thank,
is, y'all. Y'all was right.
thank you. Yeah, exactly. Sometimes you have to give them that and tell them they were right. And, I
Yeah,
had to do
they
the
were.
same thing. But I've been out here for a couple years now. So, I've learned how to I learned at the beginning when I went through a similar situation, and I won't even speak the content creator's name, but being told or getting that animosity of, oh, you left a comment under so and so's video, and they literally got an attitude and got angry about it. And I'm like, well, if you can't handle that, then we don't need to be friends. We don't need to be YouTube
Mhm.
friends. We don't need a YouTube ship, because that Leak You is going to do what Leak You wants to do. And I can't, why would I, or why would any of us limit ourselves or limit the capacity of what our platforms can be by listening to some other content creator try to tell us where we can go and where we can't go? It's only limiting our possibilities out here. And I'm not going to let someone else have that type of control over my platform.
I
So,
agree. And I don't go along to get along. I try to give you the benefit of the doubt for as long as possible. I try to see the bigger picture. I try to, um, have support and faith in you that you can show me something different. So the
yeah,
moment that I keep giving you chance after chance after chance to prove yourself, and you keep showing me other signs, I gotta go with what you're showing me. I can't I
exactly.
can't act blind to what I'm seeing and be like, oh, okay, maybe next time. So if you feel like I go along to get along, false, false.
Yeah, exactly.
If y'all realize how much heat I've been taking for months, 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 months from different people about how could I do this, I had to sit back and say, okay, am I just supporting somebody without really seeing the bigger picture? And then I stepped back and I started watching, how she treated Sir King in the whole
Hmm.
situation. So that made
Right.
my decision more. I was
Solidified.
able to act. Yeah. Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
Basically. Yep.
Yeah. I just don't think that's a good idea, and I don't say that in any mean way or, to cause anything. It's just constructive, criticism, so to speak. But I don't think it's ever a good idea to tell, a group of people what to do as far as who they should be subscribed to or unsubscribed to. So I know today when I let everyone know I was done, I told everyone, y'all do what you want to do. I don't care where I don't care where my people go. It's all a shared audience anyway. I mean, we all see people in our chats that are in other chats. Who am I to control where people go out here on this platform? I'm not going to sit up here 24 hours a day in entertaining people. So it's just not my place to do that. So I have no affiliations or with anyone. I'm just me, and I like who I like, and that's it.
I feel you. I feel you.
So I just wanted to come up and say that and express my feelings on it, and wanted to, make sure people understood exactly what she did say about the mom going to glory and the father was not in his life. And she did repeat that in that video twice. And the audio is there. So there's no reason for her to
Yeah.
deny it.
So basically, what Leaky was saying is correct. Somebody sent it to me, and she did say that. She did say that, and then she did say that her family was all that the boy had. So she did
She
say
did.
that.
Yep, she did.
Yeah,
So you guys keep doing your thing. Much love, Sir King women. I appreciate y'all. I'm going to jump on back down into the chat.
All
All
right,
right,
thank
All
you.
right,
Leaky.
guys, take care.
All right, take care.
Yeah. And to find out that the mother is still living and breathing and walking this earth, fortunately. And and that the family says that they've been in a man's life all his life. I mean, it's incredible that she had the nerve to say that. And the only thing that you can come up with to support it is, well, that's what he told me, and I didn't
Yeah,
quite like, and that was for everything. And it's just like you had no way to confront. I mean, didn't she say, like she practically raised this guy and she knew him since the age of 2?
But
yeah.
Like,
that
what do
it went from 2 to 7th grade. So I don't know.
you? Like that makes her like the guardian, like pretty much. Like when you
Right.
saying no, and his father is dead, and his dad never really truly was in his life.
Right.
But
And didn't she get his age wrong? She said he was 19 when he had just in fact turned 18.
Yes, that is correct. Yes, that is correct.
Okay, because
yeah,
that's what
like
everybody was saying. It's like if you're the godmother, you should at least know that he just turned 18 and not 19. But maybe if you pissed off and are sad in the situation, you can confuse the dates. But after hearing her talk today, she said, "Well, he would just call me his godmother, and it really wasn't like something on like papers. Like she's really his godmother." So that was weird.
mhm.
And
and
they made good points. They said over here on YouTube, when you bring tragedy over here, you get the financial support without asking for support. Like they just cash you out.
Well,
So
true, and I've seen support for less. Like it don't
right,
even have to be tragedy, but yeah, like I've seen and I've heard like content creators say like they complained about paper cuts, and there was like a flow of support. So yeah, when your
wow,
people love you like that, they will. You
Yeah,
know,
you
I-
don't have to ask for assistance in situations like that. It will just come in.
you could just make people love your child and then report to them and call it commentary that your child had a bad day in school. And you can see love being thrown back at you. But it is what
but
it. Oh,
yeah, you been here for a
yeah,
minute. Did you expect the outcome of like the way Fyebabe did this situation? Did you expect it the way she handled it today?
yeah, with the exception of the pull, and I know people going to say, well, why are you going to be surprised about that? I'm not surprised, but I just didn't expect that she was going to delete the video. But I figured she was going to blow up.
Really? I honestly, from viewing, I thought she was gonna have more of a push it all on Bama Girl, but I didn't never think she was gonna go in on her like physical appearance and shit like that. Like that threw me through a loop. Cause that shit you
Those are
really you been feeling that way.
right. But those are the only that you just took the thought out of my head. Those are the only like in the times when she was quote unquote reading and saying different things that other people have said. That was the times where I was like, oh, she felt that way all the time, all along. But yeah,
Yeah. So it
but that
confirms
don't mean
what
that she.
Tracy D said. It confirms what Tracy D said. Tracy D said that Fyebabe used to talk about Bama Girl to her and say this, that, and the third. And pretty much Fyebabe said everything that Tracy D said a few days ago on this live. So it confirms everything.
Mhm.
I'm only
But
upset
I
about
feel
it because I saw Bama Girl windmilling super hard for Fyebabe in any situation she's ever been in on YouTube since I witnessed. Bama Girl will host a panel like after Fyebabe's live to pretty much keep the conversation going in support of Fyebabe. But the second that Bama Girl got put into some fuck shit, Fyebabe cut all ties. So I feel like that was fucked up.
Well, so limit, but
uh,
did she have to do what
so
she had to do to maintain her value?
right. Let me get there and say that. Oh, you taking my thoughts now, Sir King.
Go ahead.
But yeah, um, but that was the reason. Like, I mean, we're all like speculating. Like, we don't know like the true components, like and dynamics of their relationship. So we're all like kind of like looking in and guessing. But like, I would assume like, well, first off, like, Bama's not the first one to like windmill harder for Fyebabe than Fyebabe does for them. But Fyebabe also knows that she sits over them. They let her know, and they like affirm it like by like when she called her queen, they regard her as that too. So Bama actually did that to secure her spot. Like the windmilling like harder, like and it being a mismatch. But I don't think you can like totally blame Five. Like if she know that like her worth on these streets like is above like a lot of the people that's like on her side and supporting her. I think she sees that. And she also sees when she needs to get off the bus. And I think this was a situation where she was like, no, I'm not traveling with you down this road. Like you on your own with this.
Okay. Okay.
I don't think she had the reader. I don't think she had the reader,
I just
but a
want to know
lot
what
of
the motivation
lot
was.
of
That's
these
all.
relationships are put on, and like in the same way, I mean, people they let you know they doing business. Like parts of those relationships, people may not want to accept it, like what they call YouTube ships or whatever. But like they see people, some people, y'all seen this commodities and investments, like just seriously, seriously. Oh, I have a question. This harkens back to yesterday's live. Y'all was actually like there was like going back and forth like on whether like Bama actually was supported heavily by Babe Nation, and I felt like that was like intellectual dishonesty, like it was like people actually like questioning that, and I'm like, is that really a question? And the reason I say that because the people that was well the especially the one person that questioned it, she was using language like the ops, and she said the other side, so that would make me assume that she was like plugged in, and like and she was questioning like whether like Bama Girl was being held up by Babe Nation. Is that a question on these streets? Is that
Yeah.
really a question? I don't know how. Like your Stevie Wonder can see that. Like and like obviously and obviously, like Fyebabe knew that because she made them disavow support to her in the same way that she made them disavow support to Avatar Nation and other content creators on here. This is what she know that and that's a million. That's a like $1 million card. Like when she does that, that means she don't fuck with you, and they normally listen. So I have a question to you and Sir King. When she told them to
Okay.
disavow support to Bama Girl today, do you think they listened or you think that they ignore Fabi?
I'm gonna say some listened and some didn't because when I watched Bamagirl live, I saw people on her panel that said they're from Babe Nation and they disagree with her decision. And I think when she ended her live, she went back to Bamagirl live and she, watched the show like everybody else, and she saw her people going against her in this situation.
I saw that too. There was a few that came on a thing and they were very
Right.
boisterous. So I did hear that,
Yeah.
but I know they represent the exception, just like from history. Like
Yeah.
unless this is different than all the other times she told people to disavow, but she knows like the people like because I mean like you can't take away like some of the things that she done and she's not the only one, but content creators often like look out for other people and they bring them up, and it don't matter like if it's a year later, like these people don't forget, like I got you to 1,000. I got you this. I hooked you up with that. Like I got you on this show. I got like whatever. Like like
I'm more like old school. Like if we friends, if we have some YouTube ship or we consider each other friends, in my opinion, Bama Girl and 5A were friends. They're beyond a YouTube ship. The moment y'all exchange phone numbers, the moment y'all talk offline about multiple different things besides YouTube, you are considered friends. Now the level of friendship that's to be decided, but it's a
right.
friendship there nonetheless.
You saying they
So you
stepping out
can't
of
make it seem like business is business. I get that, but the second you mix business with pleasure and you make somebody your friend and you talk to them all the time, there is a level of respect that's still due there despite the situation that's going on currently. Yes, Bama Girl's in the hottest water possible, volcano water. But I felt like in this moment, she chose herself over, defending her friend who always defend her. But that's Bama Girl fault for windmilling so hard for Phi Babe, and she was expecting Phi Babe to do the same in return, but it was not given to her.
uh-huh. And she can't leverage what other powers she have on these streets the way Fyebabe can.
Yeah,
Anybody that disagrees with me really aren't watching or plugged in to these streets like that. She can't. But I could understand if she feels that way and she says that, but it's not going to like it's not she's not going to get the desired result.
I agree. I think a lot of people did unsubscribe from her, unfortunately, just due to this whole situation.
Did y'all Pete? And this came from a few people like them, like pretty much giving other people instructions on like, yo, like if you're going to come to a Bama girl, this is how you need to come to her. You do not need to be criticizing her. You do not need to be checking her. You just need to be supporting her. Like
Fuck
I've
out of
heard a
here.
lot.
If I'm a
Yeah,
supporter, I'm coming at with you with questions.
like
I'm
who
coming
they
at you with
talking
questions.
to? Yeah, like nah, like that's not how that's gonna work. But that's
Nah, you
shielding.
can't
You
create a
know,
tornado and then expect
yeah,
me to
like
sit in the
nah,
audience and be like agreeing with
yeah,
you because you're going
like
through it. Like if you were going through it, you should have kept it offline until you were able to deal with the situations. You were able to deal with questioning. You don't bring stuff online until you're ready. The moment you bring it online, that's an indication you're ready to have the discussion, whether you believe it or not. If
yeah,
I'm
but you're not gonna
unstable,
make
I'm not going to bring it online.
yeah, I mean the people are the people and they think they're gonna have their thoughts, right? And they're gonna come to their
Right.
own conclusions. And you can't like tell them like their approach. Like if they want to check her, like and call her out,
Yeah.
you know, on her deeds, I mean it's right for them to do so. Like, you know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah.
But the narrative and it wasn't strong enough. But because why were we talking about friendships and like what that looks like and ride or dies and you know and the long way, like that's when this stuff started coming up and I'm listening to this and I'm like, this is narrative spinning. Like
Yeah,
I
but
see
that
what they trying
applies to your closest.
to
That
it's not gonna
applies to your
work.
closest friends. That don't apply to subscribers. If subscribers got questions because they're just subscribers, then you have to answer the questions. And I felt like since she didn't do it solo, she had a panelist of people. Then if people had questions, they should be able to open and answer the questions honestly. This isn't a moment to give you your flowers in this situation. It's not about you. You created the drama, but this moment isn't about you. So I'm gonna ask whatever question I gotta ask because you put the story out here for us to comment on. So it's unfortunate that all the bullshit is overshadowing the real story, but at the end of the day, there's questions to be answered. So if you're not ready to answer stuff, you need to stay offline until you're ready.
Yeah, but do fucking with you the long way means supporting you, right?
Hmm.
When you're wrong or not telling you when
No,
you're wrong. Uh, I think
if you
for
support
some on
somebody, I feel like you gotta call them out when they're wrong.
yeah, I think for some on here they think that though. You feel me?
Yeah, I agree with you. A lot of people, it's more people that's going to agree with the fuck shit than they're going to call the actual content creator out. So,
Yeah, and I think
and
that's
then when
where a
you
lot
do,
of
you're
the
going to
hurt.
get blocked. So,
Yeah. I'm sure she was hurt by the reads because like listen to 5A reader, you know, like it came
yeah.
off like, oh, this you thought this all along. You know what I mean? But you know, I think that part of her hurt was the fact that she was looking for that echo chamber, like the yes people from that side, from 5A, and she didn't get it. It wasn't there for her. It's not in the cards. It wasn't in the readings, man. It wasn't there for you.
But I felt despite the fact
You
that a
off
lot of
on your
Babe Nation
own.
wasn't,
You
a
get
lot of
off
Babe
on your
Nation
own.
didn't support her. But I do feel like she did have a strong enough support of her own fan base. It did show me that at least she was able to obtain people who do support her, despite the fact if she fall out with Fyebabe or not. I did see that. You know what I mean? There was people who supported her that was her people, that wasn't her Fyebabe's people. So that was cool. But
You,
she created this whole storm.
yeah, and she brought it here too. But now
Hmm.
she gotta get off on her own, girl.
And I did see somebody they was on the stream yard. They said please don't link up with the ops because that's like the easiest thing to do. And I agree. I feel like when people do fall out with each other, it's the easiest route is to link up with the people who dislike that person and then you sort of keep a relevancy. But the real test is can you keep your relevancy without linking up with anybody? Can you keep the momentum going by yourself? This will show if Fyebabe was really the reason why you're successful or are you successful on your own.
Hmm. And
So
I
you
think
can't
she, I
take
think
no support, no outside support that you wasn't getting prior to this fallout. You have to continue with the same way you've been doing your lives and the way you've been running your channel without the link ups.
So, but y'all, let me ask you this. So, do you think now that Joyce and Rebel Sun are going to distance themselves from Bama because they want their roles in the show?
you think that that's the case?
Oh hell yeah, that's the case. Didn't you hear Fyebabe say that pretty much told Bama Girl's moderators to be careful, don't you be coming for my people. So pretty much if she was telling the moderators that, she's pretty much telling the people on the panel that, I feel. Um so mm.
So you think they're going to distance themselves from Bama Girl? Them too?
Oh yeah, they have to. This is business. Didn't Rebel someone on my platform talking about, oh, this is a life experience, this is an opportunity. You guys can't appreciate life experiences and things like that.
I
And he
did
was,
hear,
yeah.
I did see that interview, and I
Hmm.
did hear him say that. But I'm just looking at recently when he was on Bama Girls Live, and uh, the stuff that he was saying. I mean, he really came off as very biased and non-thinking, and I'm not used to hearing that from him. But yeah,
And I think what's crazy about that situation, the reason why he was so gung ho for Bama Girl was because he said himself, his family suffered a personal tragedy due to, excessive force by law enforcement. So that's why he was so galvanized to help Bama Girl in the situation, not knowing that this would turn into that. But so, hey Terry P, how you doing?
What up,
Hey
Terry P?
guys.
Hi.
Hey
Hey.
Terry,
hey,
hey.
Hey.
hey,
Hey
um,
Maya.
hey, Terry P.
Lemon SK, of course. Okay, can I just say this?
Yep.
Y'all are reading too much into this. Can I
No, we're
just give
not.
you, yes, you are. Can
No,
I
we're
give
not.
you a one
Go
minute
ahead, break it down.
synopsis?
Hmm.
Let me break it down in 1 minute. Now, the only reason that Whore in the Shy came out and gave her opinion or denounced uh Bama Gums is because Club Shing Shang came out and denounced her, right? So Club Shing Shang, D Ramsey,
Right.
don't do that. Don't do that, SK. Don't be messy. Now, as it was reported earlier today by the fabulous Bree, the Whore and the Shy said she knew Bama Gums was lying from the get go. And the only reason she basically spoke out was because she lied, she lied to her in her face or what have you. It is what it is. A scammer knows a scammer. So this whole thing, the only and we all know the Whore and the Shy wants to be this big reality star. She wants to be a Hollywood star, which she will never be. So she's gonna bow down to Club Shing Shang because she doesn't want to mess up her opportunity. Okay. And she knows that D Ramsey is high on the totem pole when it comes to Club Shing Shang. So she had no choice but to come out and denounce Bama Gums because Club Shing Shang denounced Bama Gums by way of D Ramsey. So what is it that people are not understanding? Bama Gums lied. The Whore and the Shy knew she lied. The Whore and the Shy is just as much of a scammer as Bama Gums is.
I don't think she knew she lied. I think she was thinking
She
that
said she knew. Bree,
right after the
Bree,
fact, but hopefully, I think hoping she was hoping that there was some details left out or something like that. She didn't want to immediately call Bama Girl out and say you're lying without knowing all the extenuating circumstances. She even said that she tried to call Bama Girl a lot of times and she would not pick up the phone. She was not responsive. So I'm not giving 5A. I'm not on 5A's side. But
do
what
you
I'm
need me
saying,
to say allegedly? Okay, allegedly. But you know that saying game recognizes game? A scammer recognizes a scammer. Sometimes you learn the game from somebody you've been kicking it with for however long.
mhm.
Bree, see, Bree's in the chat. Bree says no. She said she knew. Um, she lied day one.
I
She
agree.
said that.
I heard the same thing. I heard the same thing. But what she said, I knew she was lying since the beginning, but I just been in the bushes. I even went to Facebook and was watching over there in the Facebook area during the whole thing too. So she pretty much laid out the layout of pretty much what she was doing during the whole time of this whole situation.
Exactly. So I just gave you a 1 minute recap of what's going on. It's just she would not have come up because why do you SK, do you remember the whole and I don't want to give the content creator's name cuz she's gone. You know who I'm talking about, right? There was a huge scandal of how she
Yeah.
scammed the children. SK, you remember? And the whore and the shy came out like immediately and denounced her and even came on Wilson's panel and called in and basically debunked the whole story. Do you need me to give
Are
you
they
another
both? Are
clue?
they both from Chicago?
Yes.
Okay.
You remember that scandal?
Yeah, I remember that.
She was quick to hop on that story, right? And she
Yeah.
was cool. She was cool with that person because she modded for that person,
Mhm.
right?
And
Right.
Uh-huh. So why did it take her days to come out and denounce this person? But she waited until after D. Ramsey came out and denounced what this person was doing.
Mm.
She's trying. I'm telling you, she's up Club Shing Shang's butt because she wants to be that next reality star.
Right. That's what we've been saying.
And
It's a
that's
business.
the only yeah, and that's the only reason she came out. And it was so I was in there for about I gave her about 10 minutes and she was just screaming and hollering. It was ridiculous. It just it didn't seem legit to me. It was ridiculous. But yeah,
so
she
you
huh?
feel like she denounced her friendship with Bama Girl to save herself on the show, so that you're saying that Bama Girl is pretty much going to get kicked off the show from this incident.
I don't know if Bama Gums is going to get kicked off the show, but I know the only reason the whore and the shy came out and denounced her was because Club Shing Shang finally, they came out and denounced her. So she's trying to keep her dream alive. This is her dream. She thinks she's going to be the next love and hip hop star. I don't know why, but that's what it is. Cuz any other time she's quick. Any other time there's breaking news in this sector, she's quick. When was the last? Are you kidding me? When has she sat on a story before?
Well, I mean, that's not a fair question because it involves her. Anything that involves her, she's going to be, selective. So,
Well, give me an example, SK.
if this involves anybody in her camp, Babe Nation, anything, she's not going to report it right away. She's not going to even talk about it.
But
All she's going to do is, I'm here.
when do we ever have a story of this magnitude that she hasn't reported on?
Of
Whether
this
it's Babe
magnitude,
Nation or not.
the only thing in comparison to this magnitude that we ever had is regarding the IHOP gate. That's it.
Well, she hated that woman, and I'm not going to mention her name. She
Well,
hated she wanted to take that woman down for the longest time. So I mean, of course, she's going to report on that.
no,
The
no, no. I'm
second
just
it hit.
saying in regards to the situation. I mean, in regards to a situation by itself. One lone incident is what I mean.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I just I think she would have sat on it if Club Shing Shang didn't report on it.
Hmm.
I honestly think she would have
So
just sat on it. Because if she knew from day one, she said it out of her own mouth. If she knew from day one that this woman lied
mhm.
and she didn't report on it,
You
He
can't
wouldn't have
do
come.
that though. That's like James Caldwell finding out some indiscrepancy that you talk about therapy and he runs with it. You would never expect James to do that just because of the loyalty that you guys or rapport that you have with each other. That's not something you would expect, especially from this area of YouTube. That's just
Okay, well, first
Mhm.
that's apples and tomatoes.
No.
Since somebody's throwing tomatoes at me right
It's,
now,
it's tomatoes
that
and
he
tomatoes.
he no. Okay, well, okay, we're not gonna do this. So I'll just say this
No, but no,
and
no. You
shut down.
can't.
No,
But
but
therapy,
let me just say this.
therapy.
Let me just say this.
You
The
can't
incur-
allow people.
but
You can't state your argument and have it the way you want to have therapy. I have to relate it to you.
but
Okay, you're
they're
sitting up there saying Fyebabe and Bama Girl. We totally understand that. But what I'm
but
saying to
they
you,
don't have integrity though. They don't have integrity. There's one person in this argument that
oh
has
Lord,
integrity,
oh
and
Lord,
that doesn't speak about certain people unless they speak about him.
oh Lord.
You know it's true, SK. You know it's true, and
I'm just
I'm
making
not
a
biased,
hypothetical example. I'm not
huh?
calling into question his integrity. I'm just saying the circumstances. That's all. That's all.
Yeah, but the circumstances are a little different because you have people that will put out lies and um create these I call, and I will say this about that whore in the shy. She has a good long con game. She mastered that long con because she has a lot of followers that are like sucked up her butt and they believe any and everything, right? I mean, this woman's been holding on to money for something that we all know that vacation money has been spent up. She ain't got any of that money left. And I'm not just saying this because I can't stand her. It's just a proven fact. And her ex best friend has confirmed that she spent a certain portion of that money on attorney fees and all that, right? So, but you still have people that are holding on to that vacation. And it's like, what about her? And we've all, and I'm not afraid to say this, when I was new on these streets, I was over there. I was entertained by her. And the only reason I left was because of what went down between her and James. And I was conflicted between the two because I was like, I liked the both of them. I really did. But when the F stuff started happening and when I saw how low and disgusting and vile she was, I was like, I gotta walk away. And it's easy for me to walk away and not look back. But the
All
thing
right.
is it's hard to con me. You can't pee on my leg and tell me it's raining.
Well, I hope nobody would pee on your leg.
Well, well, some people like that. Some people like that kind of
No, I
stuff.
know them
But
Maybe,
showers,
maybe Lady Dimples.
them
Maybe
golden
Lady
showers.
Dimples does. I don't know.
some
We
people
don't know
like that
nothing
kind of
about that.
stuff. And I won't knock them for that. But
Mm. All right, hold on. We do have a guest. Hold on one second.
Oh,
okay.
golden showers.
Hello, Urban. How you doing?
Sir
Oh, what
King,
up,
what's going
Urban?
on? All right,
What's
what's
going on?
up, Lemon? I just want to come in, man, and make a few comments about this current story that's going on. But I want to greet everyone in the panel first. Sir King, King of Late Night, what's going on with you, brother?
How you doing? How you doing, Urban? Good to see you.
I'm good, man. I'm good, man. The big homie Lemon,
What up, Urban? How are you?
I'm doing good, man. See, you still holding it down. Hey, yeah, yeah.
Let me see if I can take him off mute. Y'all, can you hear?
Yay. Greetings.
All right, greetings to you,
I
brother.
ain't
I never met you before, man, but I heard you talk a few times, and you always talk like you got a lot of sense, man. You're good at analyzing facts.
thank you.
All right, and Miss Terry P.
Hi.
What's going on? What's going on with you, California girl?
Hi, Urban Critic. Hi.
What's going on? I wanted to make a few comments about this man. If you guys don't mind, um, I want to jump in on this. For me, from two perspectives. For me, I'm looking at this from two perspectives, right? One of them is as a black man in America today, a young man lost his life. And that's something I want to talk about. The brutality of law enforcement in America today. In 2020, we're still dealing with this. The other perspective is a profession. You know, in corporate America, 15 hours or more a day. I'm a public relations executive. That's what I do. I live, eat, and breathe that. And another part of me is as a military man and as a mentor. There's a lot to say about mentoring our young black men. But I want to start out with saying my condolences to the family of Mr. Tillman, the young man that lost his life. My condolences to his family. I don't want to see any black mother grieving over the loss of her son. Last time I was on here, I talked about, when a black man, if anybody remembers the last time I came on there, I talked about when a black man leaves his house for the day, he's a target. And that's a reality for us, right? You are.
Yep.
It's not the same as a white man that walks out of his door, kisses his wife goodbye, or a young white college student going off the campus. It's just another day for them. But for us, you might be one traffic stop away, one broken taillight away from your death, and that's a reality for us today, man. And
Yeah, I agree.
it doesn't make any sense whatsoever that a taillight being out should amount to you being shot a dozen times or more. And this is something that's on every black mother's mind today when their sons leave the house or their husband leaves the house. I'm sure it's in the back. It's in the back of the mind of every black woman. I work very closely in a community with young black men. I'm a mentor for young black men. I run and I'm a leader in organizations where I mentor young black men. And we have these types of conversations all the time about our interactions as black men in society today, why we continue to be targets and victims of the system. And it's a deep conversation, man, but it's a conversation you got to sit down and have with your sons about how we move today, our interactions with law enforcement, our interactions with white people. You can get into an argument in a supermarket, and the next thing you know, the police are called on you. We're always looked at as a threat in America to this day. To this day, part of it is because of our intelligence, our intellect. Right? There's nothing more powerful than a strong black man, and that invokes fear. That invokes fear in the community to this day.
Yep.
We're the descendants of people who created mathematics. Our people are the ones that look to the stars, right, and follow the pattern of the sky and correlated the planets to what goes on in our life. So we don't just come from slavery. That's not the only part of our history. So there's always been a fear of black men. And that's a long
The
topic.
history of the black people has been erased
Yeah,
already.
Right.
in our history, slavery is not shameful for us.
That's right. That's exactly
You
right.
want to you want to know, I don't if I can just interject. You want to know what I think the issue is when it comes to especially white men. A lot of white men feel inadequate when it comes to the black man, because
That's
we have strong black men when it comes to whether you want to look at it as, sports, physique, what have you. And
mhm.
the problem is when you have these white police officers that come in contact with these strong black men, they are scared to death that they won't be able to um and I don't want to say overpower or take down. They're just, they use that, oh, I feared for my life. Oh, I feared for my life because they're too scared to go up against these black men. And these white police officers will quickly use I don't know how it is in your states where you guys are, but here in Cali, especially LA, they have their regular guns with the bullets, but they also have the guns with the rubber bullets. And they will quickly use those rubber bullets on everybody else. But when it comes to our black men, oh, I fear for my life, and they will pull out their regular 9 millimeters, right? And then with the white men, the Asian men, whoever, they'll pull out their taser guns, they'll pull out that pepper spray. But for some reason, they feel inadequate and they hate feeling inadequate when it comes to the black men. And it's just, it, it baffles me that so many courts will run with the I fear for my life. Cause that story, I
Well,
mean,
that's
that shit is played. I feared for my life. But you got, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 police officers with their guns drawn and they empty that clip. They empty
mhm.
that clip. But then you have a white man in certain states where it's legal to carry these weapons out in public. Like, here you have to have a carry to conceal. I think that's what it's called. Carry to
Yeah.
conceal
License. Carry.
license.
Still.
Right. But down south, I don't know if you guys need that because the videos that I've seen, these fools are walking around with like rifles and shotguns and all that.
Mhm.
And
Carrie,
they could get in a police officer's face and square off.
mhm.
Well,
And they don't
there's
even
a history.
they
Carrie
don't
P.
even get booked. They don't even get booked with a black eye.
Yeah, what's up, y'all?
I just wanted to say to Terry Free real quick. When you hear them saying, yeah, I fear for my life, I fear for my life, that's their attempt to secure a legal defense.
Right.
Right.
You know,
That's just the talking point.
mm-hmm,
Right. But that's what
mm-hmm.
I'm saying,
like
yeah.
like
That's
like
what I'm saying.
when you hear them saying don't resist, and you're looking at the video and you don't see no one resisting, they do that too. Like they're securing a legal defense. Mm-hmm.
Right. Right. It's a history in law enforcement. It's a system, the court system. Law enforcement. This type of authority has a history. The law enforcement is a direct descendant of slave patrols.
Slave
So when a
patrols.
slave ran away, they had what they call slave patrols. That is a direct descendant of law
Ugh.
enforcement in America
Yup.
today. So this is a
Yup.
system. When we talk about the system of oppression, this is built in what they call systematic racism. This is built into this organization, decade after decade after decade. This is overt racism, right? They feel that we're animals, and it's a built-in system. It's a culture. Law enforcement has a culture of racism and a system of racism, and it's evident even today that we're even having this conversation. We should not be having this conversation, man. Should no black man being shot 30, 40 times? This is ridiculous that we should even be having this conversation. This is hate. And the most corrupt government organization in America today is law enforcement. Tupac used to say, the biggest gang in America is the law enforcement. They're given the authority to kill. And when you're given the authority to kill, there's a very high level, right? There should be a very high level of accountability. As a member of the United States military, our level of accountability for killing someone is extremely high. I can't just pop rounds off on somebody, right? We have rules of engagement. You know, there is a built-in system into combat. Law enforcement today in America, they have a built-in system that protects them to just slaughter us. And there's no accountability. Like y'all was saying, you know, stop resisting, stop resisting, stop
But
resisting.
how much of that
They were
goes
taught
back to
that.
training? How much of that goes back to training? Because every time I see this instance, it's like, okay, well, what's up with the training? What's up with the training? Are
Right,
they
that's what I'm
trained
saying. There's
to act this way?
Right, that's what I'm saying. When like when y'all was saying, when they say stop resisting and they're beating you, when they're brutally beating you, but the words coming out of their mouth is stop resisting, and you're not even moving.
Right. And
Like
that all in
this
sync.
isn't law enforcement. This isn't police academy training. This is once you step out of the police academy and you step into the culture of law enforcement, and that sergeant is assigned to drive you around and training you. This is what he's telling you. This is how we do things in the field. Forget what you just learned in the academy. This is what we do in the field. This is how you protect yourself. Always keep a hot gun in the trunk with no fingerprints on it in case you might need to drop that gun down and say that he pulled a weapon out on you. This is what they're taught in the field. You know, and that's the state of America today. But we need to have conversations with our sons, right? And if you don't have any sons, you know, volunteer, work with an organization that mentors young Black men, and have conversations with these brothers about how we move from day to day. It's a conversation that we need to have because we're not. It's evident that we're not regular people. We're the only ones getting shot 50 times. So this is a conversation we have to have about, unfortunately, rules of engagement when you leave the house, how you move, how you respond to people, how you react to a public dispute, because they look at us differently. They look at us as animals, and they're going to retaliate that way. That's where we are. That's, you know, I do that every day. I do that from the soldiers that fall under my command. We have these conversations, to the homeless young boys that I work with, the abused, sexually molested young boys I work with, those who didn't have fathers. These are conversations that I have with these young brothers every day.
I've done a lot of that work. I've done a lot of that work. Very similar.
And that's what for a Black man to take another Black man under his wing and mentor him, that's a beautiful thing, man. That's what we need to be doing. A lot of us don't have fathers. I was fortunate to have a father and a grandfather that were leaders and mentors, and they built that into me as a child, and I'm continuing that tradition.
Urban
You can't get through.
urban
Yeah,
urban critic. Are you familiar with Bamagirls?
no, I don't know, you know, Bama Girl or Fyebabe. I'm just looking at it from a public relations perspective to people that are trying to, if your intention is growing a brand and making a career out of entertainment, or being a public figure, there's just certain foundational rules that you move by. I looked at Bama. I looked at a little bit of this. I looked at Bama Girl's page, and she doesn't seem to be, you know, trying to grow a brand. Fyebabe, on the other hand, she's involved in developing a brand. You know, when it comes to Bama Girl, regardless of whatever her relationship was with that young man, the family that lost someone in their life, their perspective comes first. So if you love somebody and you cared about that person who lost their life, then whatever the family says goes. That mother, that father, that grandmother, their will comes first, and your will falls back. So if they express it, if someone lost someone in their family, that's a painful thing. You got to think about the horror of hearing a story about your child being cut down like that. Every Black mother is feared. And then if somebody from the outside is interfering with that story, interfering with your grieving, interfering with, you know, things that are going on with your family that are so personal, like having to bury somebody, and dealing with death, like whatever the family's wishes are, then that's what it should be. That's it. Whatever the
I
family's wishes are, we want you to
but
fall back, and you fall back.
if I can just bring you up to speed as to why this section of YouTube has been up in arms, is because you have somebody that um basically tried to make it about them and lied about their relationship with a certain individual who passed away, who was murdered, who was, yeah, murdered, and then got caught in the lie, and then doubled down, tripled down, and then uh, lied on this poor child's family members that were clearly in his life. So, um, I don't mean to like stir away from what you were saying, but this is why a lot of people were upset with her. And this is the conversation that we were speaking about tonight, last
Yeah, I'm
night,
with you.
and the night
I'm with
before.
you. I'm with you. That's when the discussion I was just having about whatever the family's wishes are, that goes first.
Yeah.
That's what I was talking about. I've watched the videos. I'm aware of what's been going on, and my perspective on that is the family's wishes come first. That's exactly what I was just saying. Whatever the family's wishes are, that's paramount over everything else. We're talking about burying a young black man. So whatever the family's wishes are comes first. If the family wants you to fall back and not to interfere, then that's what needs to happen. And
Yeah.
that's exactly what I was just saying. I'm aware of what's going on with that.
Oh, okay. I was just
Family,
curious to know.
the family wishes come first. And if you love that person, like I was just saying, if you love that person and you claim you had a relationship with them, then the family's wishes should be in the forefront of your mind. Okay, you want me to fall back? No problem. I'm gonna fall back. And that should be it.
Yep, I agree.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm going to drop off.
Okay, therapy.
It
All right,
was
Terry
good
P.
talking to you guys, of course. And my I haven't spoken to you in a while, little brother.
Hey, hey, hey.
Yeah, that was good talking to you. Okay, Urban Critic, it was nice hearing your perspective. That was my first time conversing with you. So, all right, I'm going to get back in the chat.
All right,
All right,
Terry
Terry
P.
P.
Okay,
All
gentlemen,
right.
bye.
Bye.
Stay blessed.
Okay, you
Bye, T.
too.
Take care.
Don't you be shady when I leave. Be shady in my face.
Okay, no problem. Here we go.
Do it. You're so stupid. Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Hey, but this is a
Ooh.
good thing here, man, with us black men talking about, real topics, getting deep on what's going on in the culture and in America today, man. You know what I mean? You don't see that. You don't see this in this sector from this perspective what you're seeing right now, man. This is a good thing right here.
I agree. I definitely agree. But I think it scares a lot of people, though. I do
Now,
believe that
why would anybody be afraid of intelligent black men? Why would anybody be afraid of it?
because it's unconventional. I mean, if we were
Mm.
cursing each other out and, coming up, not be stereotypical, but coming up with some musical lyrics, then that would fit the norm. So,
Yeah. Uh,
I agree.
I mean, I know what this sector is about, right? The people here love the drama, man. And, there's a long history, with this Nick Cannon show, Wild and
Wilding
Out.
out. Yep.
Right? That's an example of what this sector is on a different scale, but that's an example. There's a history of roasting in Hollywood, or history of roasting entertainment, going all the way back to fraternal organizations, that did roasting, so I understand it. You know what I mean? I know what this sector is about. And, it's a lot of the banter back and forth and all that. I understand that that's entertainment. It's when you take it off YouTube that things start getting dark. You know what I mean? So how do you balance? How do you balance that, going back and forth and roasting and gagging and people going off the deep end and taking it off YouTube? There's a balancing act there.
I don't know. It's definitely a balancing act, but I think the motivation over here for rewarding clicks and views encompasses that. They take it off. They take it off of YouTube, and therefore that gets them clicks and views.
Yeah, I mean, drama sells. If you look at the popularity of reality shows, on one perspective, it saves Hollywood a lot of money because these aren't union actors, right? And then it became wildly popular. So if you look at shows like the Bad Girls Club, if you look at shows like Jerry Springer, what's the guy that does You Are Not the Father? Maury Povich. People love ratchetness. You know what I mean? And I get it. I get it, man. So I see the appeal, of the beef sector. We just got to be careful of these going off the deep end and going too far. And once that happens, then you got to figure out what happens is you bring outside organizations in to police you. It's better if you police yourselves.
Right. And that's what I was telling them the other night. They were like, I think it was Jay Dunn. And they keep sitting over here saying, I don't associate myself directly with the beef sector. But they were saying, oh, there are no rules in the beef sector. And I'm like, you idiots, there has to be some, or else there won't be no beef sector any longer. And it was it was baffling. They could not comprehend what I'm saying. I'm saying you have the ultimate issue, which involves the death of someone, and you still don't think that is enough to impose some rules. So they'll be their own destruction. That's all I want to say. But Urban, they have a question for you. Please, Urban Critic, please let us know your thoughts on what Bama did.
As far as telling people saying she wasn't being honest about her relationship,
she's pretty much interjecting herself in the situation, saying things about the life of the kid and so forth.
Right, I got you. So go ahead, y'all.
And her effort to bring it here, because the only reason this discussion here is because she brought it to us.
Right. Yeah, I mean today, man, with social media, it's erased barriers. It's erased barriers and boundaries. In the past, you would never do something like this, man. This is something. If someone close to you passes away in a brutal fashion, this is something you talk about to your family, right? Your loved ones. It's not something that you walk out in the middle. The equivalent of social media would be if somebody passed away in your family, you walk out in the middle of Times Square in New York with a bullhorn and say, hey, here's what happened today, right? So these barriers have been broken down by social media. And you have to be careful about that because now everything is Googleable, right? So I don't know what Bama's real name is, but somebody's going to connect the dot. And if you're looking for a job in the future, you're involved in a scandal like this. This is how you have to think today for every individual person. Today, this is a reality. In China, they have a credit, the same way we have credit systems in America where people look at your credit report. In China, they have a system where they evaluate the kind of person that you are online, right? You know how you can go to Yelp and see what a business is like and read the reviews? This is happening in China right now where they're rating the type of person you are. It affects your housing, your employment, and everything. And this is building slowly but surely in America, right? Your background, your internet profile, your internet footprint. In a professional term we use, it's called an internet footprint. So you got to be careful of what you say online. So I don't feel that she should have brought this online. Some people with their subscribers, it may be a lot of people who come to social media are lacking something in their real life, right? They're lacking friendship, companionship, and they get the attention that they didn't get in their real life online. And so they make these decisions to say things online that you wouldn't normally say online. So now you're caught up in a situation where you could lose your job, you could lose your livelihood. So if you're on a social media platform like YouTube, which is, 1 billion viewers and is worldwide instantly, what you say right now at this instant, billions of people have access to. So that's something that people don't think about when they create a YouTube channel and they start talking. And then in this sector, if somebody doxes you, now your name is connected to that. And this is stuff that you can't erase. If you look at what's going on in our society today, where what they call Karens, right? Somebody who has a racist incident against you, like, why are you walking through my neighborhood, and they're calling you all types of N-words and all that. And then you find out the next day that they end up getting fired from a really good paying job. These people today, because of the fact that you can Google their name and this Karen incident, they still can't find a job. It's connected to them forever. So that's an example of how this will follow you. So I don't know Bama Girl, and she's listening to what I'm saying right now. All I'm saying to you, sister, is be careful about how you move on a social media platform, things that you say. And the family takes precedent. So whatever your relationship was with this young man, that's, it was personal between you and that young man. And it should have stayed personal, from my perspective. But maybe she felt like revealing some things to her subscribers because that was, like I was saying, that may be a family to her or an outlet to her. But if the family says fall back, we're talking about a family that lost someone close to them, that lost a son, a young Black man. So if the family says, please fall back, take these videos down, we don't want you interfering with this, then it should be say no more. I cared about him. I loved him like I love y'all because you're connected to him. And so out of respect for you, I'm going to fall back. Videos are coming down. No more comments about it. I'm going to offer a public apology. I'm sorry, for interfering in this situation. No, it's not what I was trying to do. I wanted to grieve. So I apologize. And I'm taking the videos down. And, my respects to your family. That's the way that should be handled from my perspective.
Right.
I agree. I think a lot of people don't think about the ramifications and repercussions of what they say online, thinking that it may not be linked to them now or in the future. So, I got a whole thing coming up regarding that whole facial recognition terms of service they added to that. So
yeah, remember last time I was on there, Sir King, I told you that some changes were coming to YouTube. Remember I told you to get ready to release some changes? You remember that the last time I was on here?
Yeah. So Urban, let me ask you this though, while I have you here. Now, do you know about the whole Tracy situation that happened? No?
As far as the Ben Verified?
Yeah. Okay, so you do know about that. So you do know she was you do know about that situation where she read the cease and desist and stuff like that. Do you know what may happen from a legal standpoint? Because this is the thing, like, let me just say this. The reason I'm saying this because the video is still up.
Right,
yeah. So
somebody who cares about Tracy needs to have a conversation with her. I don't know the sister, you know what I mean? And
Pizarro?
she's not aware of the ramifications. But FTC regulates. It's a regulatory agency, and part of that regulatory oversight that they have is dealing with consumers and credit information, and this has to deal with your privacy, and then this connects to, and that also connects to cyber harassment, right? Because if someone finds out your personal information, then they can harass you. So the FTC regulates credit reporting agencies and the release of your and them handling your public information. And so these organizations like Ben Verified and People Search and all that, they have to answer to the FTC. They have to answer to them because you're holding people's personal information. This is a corporation that knows everything about you.
Right.
And so that's why it's regulated by the federal government. So if you're releasing information that people can use to attack you, Ben Verified had to sit before congressional hearings about how they manage people's personal information. So this is affecting their business, and this is, unquestionably a multi-million-dollar business. So yes, they're going to attack anybody who puts them in a position where they're abusing the information that they make available because they swore before Congress that we're going to make sure that this doesn't happen. We're not going to allow people to, there's certain people in society whose information is extremely private. We're talking about people working in certain sectors of government. You don't want these people being doxxed because of their job. So Ben Verified has said, okay, well, we're going to do this and we're going to hold people accountable for this. So that's why they came at her that way. And that's something that it's serious business. It's serious to them. So it's no different than when the music companies, you got to think about when the music companies were attacking individuals who were downloading music illegally. So here you have, Time Warner going after somebody that's just some teenage kid, in their bedroom illegally downloading music, and they're getting, legal notices. So apply that to what's going on with releasing people's personal information, because Ben Verified is responsible for that from a regulatory position regarding the FTC.
So I have another question here. Okay, unlike the kid that got the legal notice, who's a teenager from whoever, that kid took notice and did whatever corrective action they need to. This person over here laughed at them, rebuffed them, put it online that she did it, and then called them idiots in the process. So, I mean, does that make them upset, or are they gonna be forgiving, or what?
No. This is business. They don't know this individual that goes by the name of Tracy. They don't know her, right? And Tracy doesn't understand what's going on. But this is from a business perspective, a multi-million-dollar corporation. So obviously she's ignoring it and acting like it's a joke. There's more to come. There's serious ramifications coming. You can have your whatever little bit of income you have coming in could be garnished.
Yeah.
Whatever little bit of profit you have can be garnished. Any dollar you have coming, it can immediately be garnished.
Do you think she'll face federal charges? Because it said in the cease and desist that she is in violation of state and federal charges.
Right. The reason why they tied that in there, I'm going to tell you why they tied that in there about federal charges. Because not YouTube, but Google, which oversees YouTube, that's what gets them to react. That's how you move them. Is this is a violation of federal law. This is a criminal. That's how you get them to react. They're saying this has potential criminal involvement. This is a potential situation here where we can involve criminal activity. And what they're saying to Google is, we're going to report you. We're going to report. So we need you to take action on this. So that's why they put that in there, because they want Google to know that we're serious about protecting our brand.
I hear you. But they listed some laws like the Lanham Act, the Fair Credit Reporting Act, and something else. So
yeah, they're trying to get Google's attention to, we need you to take action here. We don't want this happening, and this is illegal and it shouldn't be happening. And so we want you to take action. And that's why they included that in there, because they want Google to take it seriously. And it's actually it's a warning for her to know how to move, right? It's a warning for her to know how to move. So warning before destruction.
She already told her don't do it again after November 12th. put the video up laughing at him, didn't take
Right.
it down, and then re-upload it on the channel.
Yeah, yeah. It's warning before destruction. So the next move is the next move. The
Mm-hmm.
next move is going to be a continuance of the legal process, and they're going to continue on that path until she stops doing what they don't want her to do. It's
Well,
going to continue.
they gave her to the 16th, and she didn't comply. So, oh well. Mhm.
Yeah.
All right. Anybody else got
Whoa.
any questions for the audience for Urban, myself, y'all, or Lemon?
Nah, we was pretty much talking about something different. I was just letting the conversation, happen. The chat thought I was sleeping. I'm not sleeping. But yeah, I appreciate what was going on, what y'all was talking about. But we was just on a whole different topic. So I'm sort of lost, but I hear what y'all saying.
Yeah, yeah. You
It
know
was
about it.
all over the place. I was following the story, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, yeah,
After a while, I was like, wait, what were we talking about? So yeah, it's all
yeah.
good.
Yeah. So anyway, but the whole Bama Girl situation and that, I don't know. We'll see what happens from that. So I told her she needs to start making videos. So that's how I feel.
Yeah, just observe the wishes of the family, because we're not talking about a light situation. We're talking about a death, a brutal death. And we're talking about a grieving family. So regardless of whatever her relationship was with that young man, the family's wishes come first.
Right. Hold on one second, Urban. Hello.
Hi.
Who's
What
this?
up, Brianna?
Hey, Lemon. He want to be ignorant. I don't have time. Anyway, good morning, panel. I came up here to say thank you again, Lemon, and thank you, Sir King, for taking up for me earlier, because that lady was definitely out of line. And Lemon, you stepped in immediately, and Sir King, you did too. So I just want to come up here and say thank you. And Urban Critic, child, I don't know what you've been on, but you've been so off topic these last 20 minutes, child. We've been in this chat dragging. But I just came up here to say thank you. That's all.
Oh, you're welcome, Brianna. I had to,
You,
point out the facts because when
Yeah.
I brought it up, she said she was unaware that, the stuff
Yeah,
that
I
you actually
saw
did
that. She just
during the
wanted to like,
situation.
yeah, she just wanted to like deflect. But
Yeah. So
um,
I had to catch
I
that
have
up
some
and
more
make sure that,
information. Yeah,
I had
but
to
I have some more
have your back
information I
because
gotta
you
go over
definitely
later.
did that.
oh, you have
Thank
some more
you.
information.
I have some more information that I have to go over later. But
Oh, wow.
yeah.
But why
hmm
you mad at Urban though? Urban never said anything about you, Brianna.
No, I'm not mad at Urban. It's just like he completely changed the topic of the
Yeah.
conversation. He's talking about China and everything, and we're like trying. We don't relate. It's like, I mean, he's having
I,
a
I
serious
was responding to
conversation.
questions. I was responding to
Hold on,
questions
wait, 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 wait. Let me
that
say
Sir
this.
King asked me.
You're having a
I was
serious
responding to
conversation
questions
that's
I was asked.
very much Urban. You're having a conversation that is very much needed to be had. However, that has nothing to do with the topic of discussion in which we were talking about. That's all I wanted to say. We were talking about something completely different. Well, a lot of what you said was good points, but it's like you're talking about frying chicken and we're jumping rope. That's all.
No,
But I'm
no,
going to
no,
drop back
no.
in the chat.
I
I'm back
responded
home.
to the questions. I responded to the questions that Sir King asked me. I came in here talking about the
Mm,
loss. I came in here talking about the loss of another one of our young black men. I came in here talking about mentoring.
not real, not really. But
Yes,
okay. I mean, if that's your opinion, okay,
that's exactly what I was talking about.
okay.
What did I come in here? What was my topic of discussion when I came in here, Brianna?
You
What's the
came in
first thing I
here,
said?
you started talking about slaves and this and that,
No, that's
like
not. That's not how.
nothing
No,
about.
that's not how this conversation
Okay,
started. No,
okay.
no.
Well, I mean, sir, you've been talking for so long about crazy stuff that I don't even know what your
I think you're
topic
taking away
was.
from. I think you're
But I
taking
can
away
tell
from what
you.
I was saying. You're
Hold
taking
up,
away from
wait,
what I was
hold on,
saying.
wait. Let me just say this. The entire chat is agreeing with me that we don't
Okay.
understand what you talking about, sir. That's
But I think you
all.
have an unfair advantage, Brianna, because they're familiar with you and not Urban.
What? But that's their opinion. That's their opinion. My opinion and their opinion match up. That has nothing to do. Sir King, I'm not gonna cuss you out early this morning. I came up
No,
here
but
to state
I
my
think Urban
opinion.
is. I
No, what
think
I'm saying is
Urban
it
is.
has nothing to do with it. If Urban came up here and was talking about the conversation at hand and he was making sense, then the chat would be agreeing with him. But nobody in the chat is agreeing with anything he's saying. He is talking good stuff, right? Like I'm not saying that his topic of conversation is not like nothing that he's saying is well, I don't know. A lot of what he's saying is valid. Some of the things he's saying is like, okay, what I got to do with one or the other.
But you don't think he's adding another layer to the
But
discussion?
no, I don't. I think no, I don't. Not at all. I think that he's
Wow.
having a good. I think he's talking about good topics, but it has nothing to do with what you guys are talking about. Nothing.
That is far off. That is so far off, Brianna. You weren't listening
In
to the
my opinion.
conversation. You weren't. I think it
Oh
was
well,
probably
I
above
wasn't.
your head. It was probably above your head.
Maybe,
But I'm not going to
maybe,
argue. I'm not. I
maybe.
didn't come on here to argue with anybody.
I
I came in here
I feel
talking
like
about
you're
young
trying.
black men that
Hold
have
on, wait,
lost
wait,
their
wait, wait, wait.
lives.
Hold on, wait,
That's
hold
what I
on one
came here
second.
to talk about.
I
I came here to
feel like
talk
you're
about
trying to.
young black men that lost their
I feel
lives.
like you're
That's what I
trying
came
to
here to
say.
talk about.
I feel like you're trying
So,
to
and
say I'm ignorant.
that is it. That's
I
it.
feel like you're trying to say.
I
I
got
feel
no
like you're
more
trying to say
comments. I
I'm
got no more
ignorant.
comments.
I feel like you're
The
trying
conversation was
to
over
say I'm
your head.
ignorant.
The
I
conversation
feel
was
like
over
you're
your
trying
head.
to say. So you're gonna keep over talking me, sir. Like I said, I feel like you're trying to say I'm ignorant, and I might take that one. But what I'm gonna say is that you're not reading the room. What I'm telling you is that some of the things that you are saying is very accurate, and we do need to have that conversation that you were trying to have. But that's not what they were talking about. They were talking about the situation between Bama Girl and Fyebabe. You came
Did
up
I
here
talk
and you
about that?
first you said, "Hold on, wait, let me finish." You came up here. You said that you didn't. You don't know. You said you're not really aware, and then you said
That's
you
no,
are
I
aware,
didn't say.
but you
I didn't
really
say.
haven't been talking about.
I didn't say
That is
that.
what you said. Okay,
No,
well,
that's
I'm
not
not
what.
gonna listen. I'm not gonna go back and forth with you, sir. All I came up here to say is that the entire chat, what you're saying, everything that you're saying went over the entire chat's head. So if you're calling me ignorant and you're calling Sir King's whole audience ignorant, and the
I
whole
didn't
chat
say
the
you were
entire
ignorant.
time,
I didn't say you were
hold on,
ignorant.
wait, but you are implying it, sir. I'm not stupid, and you're not gonna
No,
play semantics with me. You're not gonna play
I
semantics with me.
said that the
Basically, you
conversation was
said it
over
went
your
over
head.
my head. You said it went over my head, which means you're implying that I'm ignorant. So stop playing with
You
me.
said that nothing that I
Secondly,
said on here had anything to do with the
secondly,
conversation, and that's not the
secondly,
case.
the entire chat is saying that you are off topic, sir. The entire chat. Even Lemon said what you are talking about, we were not talking about.
That's because me and Sir
Lemon just
King,
told you that.
I was responding to the
Just told
questions
you
that Sir, I was responding to the
that.
questions that Sir King was
Lemon and
asking.
Yamin both just
I
said,
was responding to the questions that Sir King asked me.
Lemon and Yamin both
We got off on
said
a different
that what
topic
we
when
were
Sir
talking
King
about was
changed the
off
topic.
topic.
That's it. That's it.
No,
That's
you
it, Brianna.
changed the topic, sir.
All
You
right. Well, you're
changed the
entitled to
topic. You
your
changed the topic
opinion.
when you
Actually,
entered the
this is what I
room.
You're
personally
entitled to your
Okay, you
opinion,
changed the
Brianna.
this
topic.
is what I
You're
personally
You
entitled
feel.
to your
changed the
opinion.
Wait.
topic. You changed the topic.
Let me interject here. This is what I personally feel. You were talking about the Bama Girl and Fyebabe situation. The Bama Girl situation involved a young man losing his life at the hands of law enforcement, where law enforcement was involved. Okay, Urban came in. It was talking about the situation, but adding another layer, talking about how law enforcement takes the lives of black men and it's becoming a daily occurrence. And then that's how we got onto the discussion and other things from there. So he did come in talking about the subject matter, and I did take it a different place because I wanted to know
No,
his
he
issue.
came in. He came in. Sir King. You are right. He came in right talking like he said he started talking about the young black man being killed in America, and then he started segueing it into a different conversation, and then slowly but surely the conversation got into something totally different, and then Terry P tried to redirect the conversation back because we asked her to read. I asked you to do it, and you told me to come up. Terry P did
I said
redirect
you
the
wanted to be
conversation back.
redirected, and you come up and redirect it the way you wanted it to be
Right, hold
redirected.
on,
I didn't
wait,
like that.
exactly. So wait, hold up. So Terry P then redirected the conversation back She asked him a question. He answered the question, and then he segued the conversation into something completely different.
No, he didn't, because I'm the one that asked him about the whole Tracy situation, and that
Yes,
wasn't.
but he
That's
was
kind of.
already off topic, Sir King. He was already off topic when you asked him about the
But I
Tracy
don't think
situation.
so. He was talking about Bama Girl and being how Bama
Sir
Girls
King,
actually.
I'm telling you, Sir King, I'm telling you, the chat was
I
saying it.
understand, but the
Like
chat
the
is going
chat
on
was
with a whole bunch of stuff. We got Mona and Pizarro going back and forth like
right,
it's
but
WWE.
that's totally different. Mona and Pizarro is different. But there have been people in the chat the entire time saying he is off topic. What is he talking about? Even Lemon said, "What y'all talking about? We wasn't talking about that." That's all I'm saying. That's
But
all
that
I'm
came at
saying
the
is he
time in
went.
which I was
He
talking
did
about the
answer.
Tracy
He
situation.
did answer. He did answer the question, but then he segued it into something completely different. That's it.
Hmm.
But he was off topic. That's all.
I think he was adding a more real world perspective to the whole
No,
situation.
okay, well, I'm glad you feel that way. But I'm telling you what the chat was saying. I'm in the chat and I'm reading the chat, and the entire chat was saying that he was off topic.
Hmm.
But I'm not gonna argue. It's not that deep. It's 5 o'clock in the morning. But yeah, he was just off topic. He wasn't talking about what we were talking about. That's all. I'm going back in the
I
chat.
just think he enhanced the discussion because he was right. Bama Girl, he was just saying with the whole situation, you have to be careful what you say online.
Okay. Okay, 13. All right. Bye, y'all. Anyway, again, thank you, Sir King. Thank you, Lemon, for what y'all did earlier. Thank you.
All right, you're welcome, Brianna.
Yeah.
You welcome, Brianna. Oh, I got somebody up here. Hold on. I don't know how she snuck in here. I ain't hear. Hello?
Hey, Sir King. Brianna, hop back up here, girl. Come on, because you just totally abrupted Sir King's platform just because you wanted things to run your way. This man was up here talking, not bothering nobody. You came up here and totally abruptly changed what everything was being said. Get on back up here, girl. I want to talk to you. Come on back up here.
Mm,
Come on back up here.
okay. Well, on that note, I appreciate your contribution, Urban. I think you were taking it to the next level and not focus solely on this area, but also incorporating it in regards to a real world perspective. I think some people are missing that. So,
I apologize to you, Mr. Irvin, for such ignorance from women.
oh Lord.
I apologize to you for that. I was enjoying what you was having to say. Sir King, have a good morning, because definitely she's not going to come back. Huh, she's a
Oh,
coward.
okay.
Have a good morning.
All right. You take care. You sleep well.
I appreciate your opinion, baby girl. Thank you for that.
Oh, boy. Oh Lordy.
I
Oh, good.
think I think Terry P didn't realize that I knew the history of what was going on with the situation. So she
Yeah.
thought that I wasn't talking about it, but I was. I just wasn't being. I don't like to bring people's names into things and put people on spotlight, but that's why I told Terry P, yes, this is what I'm talking about.
And I don't think he was saying that Brianna was ignorant when you said things would go over her head. I just felt as if you were, had a different viewpoint or perspective.
Right. Well, yeah, we're all entitled to, everyone's entitled to their opinion and their perspective. I just wanted to
But
give mine.
ignorant, I think when you say ignorant, I think can be equated with the word dumb or stupid, and I don't think you were referencing her in that way.
I never said that. I never said ignorant. I just said I think that you didn't understand what I was talking about because it was over your head. My world experiences and my real life experiences are totally different than Brianna's and everybody else's. We all have our own experiences in life. I'm speaking from my own experience.
Well, maybe I'll include Brianna and Urban on in the next boardroom. We'll see, and they can have an intellectual debate. We'll see.
Yeah, that would be interesting.
Yeah.
But no, I wasn't disagreeing with Urban. I was just saying that when we were talking about the situation, I was just trying to make because when we were talking about, I just wanted to make sure we just stayed on the topic of what we were saying. But then you started asking him questions, and that's when he answered them.
Exactly. Sir King changed the topic because he wanted to discuss some further issues, and I put my input on that. The reason why I called, and I'm the only person that can tell people why I called in tonight. There's no one else. There's no one else that can give my perspective. I called in because a black man lost his life. Another one of our brothers was chopped down by law enforcement, and that's why I wanted to give my perspective on that. And I wanted to talk about the public relations perspective of Bama Girl and Fyebabe. That was the other reason why I called. And I said that when I called. I said there's two perspectives. There's from losing another precious black life. One of our young brothers lost his life. And then there's a public relations perspective from Fyebabe and Brianna. I said that when I called in, and that's what I called in to talk about.
And Brianna, what do you mean? And
I'm sorry. Bama Girl and Fyebabe.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess you didn't go into enough details because you sort of kind of like skated around the situation. Like you kind of talked about it, but then you sort of just went a different direction.
Yeah, I only changed topic when Sir King asked me different questions.
No, I know, but I think people just wanted to see as much input you had on the situation as possible. So they wanted you to focus just on, I guess, the topic at hand.
Yeah, I only changed gears because Sir King asked different questions, but I don't want to put anybody on spot because I don't know Bama Girl and I don't know Fyebabe. I didn't want to blast him. Bama Girl should have done this. Fyebabe should have done that. Like that's not that's not the correct approach because I don't know either one of them. And it's not my responsibility to put them on blast, but I want to talk about it from the public relations perspective. And I also want to put an input on, we lost a life. And that's the reality is that's what's really the most important thing is we got another black life lost. And I also talked about, I know that this is the B section. I know they like the drama. I know that.
Well, let me ask you this. So we're going to switch it. So y'all in the chat, we're going to switch it and reverse it. All right. Compare. We switch it and reverse it. You getting your disclaimer. Don't get mad. All right.
Where we going with this?
We beat the Bama Girl and Fyebabe thing to death. Okay. We can't do no more. All right.
Okay.
So let me ask you, Irvin, with all the recent things that have been going on back to back for the been verified to we're not going to say, you know what I mean? 3 letters, the IBF and all that. Now we got this situation. I mean, is this too much going on over here and we are getting the attention of certain people who may be looking at this area?
Well, you can't call law enforcement and not expect to put your situation on blast. So when you start making these types of phone calls and involving them in your business, when they get involved in your business. So, and there's ramifications that come for that. So, the future, remains to be seen, but definitely, this area has been highlighted because of all the interaction with outside forces. So definitely this area has been highlighted.
Okay. And what do you think spurred the whole thing with, Google putting in those new terms of service rules?
Google is constantly changing. It's a huge organization, man. It's just a gigantic organization that covers the entire world. So they're always making changes, but the most significant changes have to do with money and regulatory issues. When I say regulatory, I'm talking about oversight, governmental oversight on how they conduct their business. Because the only person that can pull the plug on them would be the federal government. So they're adjusting and making changes. Some of it has to do with monetary issues, and some of it has to do with regulatory issues. The last thing they want is the federal government. They already had federal government involvement with COPA. And so they're trying to stay away from that. They don't want that type of interaction because that affects their brand, that affects their dollars. So when they make these changes, it's two part. It's part regulatory and it's part financial. Uh, but it's a huge organization. There's a lot to manage. You know, YouTube/Google has what they call problem areas, problem sectors within an organization, and you know, those are things that they're continuously working on. But
So
one of their pet peeves is the whole, like you're talking about, you're going to do the whole facial recognition.
yeah.
You said you're going to do a live about that, but
Mhm.
part of it has to do with people's privacy
Mhm.
being attacked. People using this as a tool
Mhm.
to harass people, to cyber
Right.
harass.
Well, what do you think about the whole notion that they're now going to put ads on people who are not in their partner program, so therefore they're able to put ads on videos that are not they're not normally monetized.
Yeah, it's money, man. Google's $1 billion business for a reason. You know what I mean? And it's all about the dollar. So the decisions that they make have to deal with how can they add to their bottom line and how
Mhm.
can they stay out of trouble. So again,
But do you
it's
think that
financial
hurt?
and it's regulatory.
Do you
Go
think
ahead.
they're hurting for money? Do you think they're hurting for money to make such a drastic move? Because that would cause an
No, no,
upheaval.
no. It's just corporate. It's just a typical capitalistic way of the way organizations move in America. Google's positioned itself as a multi-billion-dollar corporation, and this is what they do.
Mhm.
It's greed. It's corporate greed.
Mhm.
It's concerned about their bottom line. You can never, as far as they're concerned, you can never be too rich. There can never be too many billions.
Mhm. Right. Right. I agree. I agree. I agree. All right. Well, gentlemen, you have anything else you want to share? Feel free to do so now before we wrap this up.
Uh, no.
Y'all, you got anything you want to say?
Hello?
Yeah. Hello, y'all. You got anything you want to say?
Yeah, no, I'm good.
Okay. All right, y'all.
Yeah,
Well, all right.
I
Go ahead.
kind of sat through and listened because I didn't know whether it was going to return. That's it.
What did you want to return to?
I didn't want to, but I sat and wait. Whether it was going to return to
I
the
don't know
topic
what
was
I don't know
at
what
hand,
else to talk about regarding the Bama girl.
No,
Because this
it
she
doesn't
was
have to, but that's what I sat and wait for. It
okay.
didn't
I
have
appreciate
to.
it. Is there something else
Mhm.
that you wanted to hear? Because we spoke about. Only thing that would matter is if Fyebabe or Bama girl came over here and was like, okay, this is how things really happen. You know,
Mhm.
I mean, I would advise Bama Girl to stop making damn videos because she's only making the situation worse for herself virtually and in reality because
Yeah.
the people are watching her. So stop that. You also are hurting your family. Bobby, I would just ask her to be more professional. And what would have been icing on the cake would have been okay. I'm disappointed in the actions of Bama Girl, and I don't think she's being truthful. But this is a serious situation, so please go support the GoFundMe of the family. Boom. That would have been excellent, but that's not how 5A works. So
Yeah, I agree with the situation. That's how it should have been handled. But in this world, that's not that's not the way it's gonna go.
right, but this is a bad look for 5A because she's tied up in the situation and somebody's doing business with her. But like, okay, if we do in a hostile way, I'm not gonna. She's not gonna, end that in a professional way.
Right.
So
And it's a bad look for Bama too, because if you're really affected and you're grieving, but yet you're still trying to prove your innocence to strangers on YouTube, it shows where your priorities is. Plus you already added damage to the situation, yet you're still coming online creating more fuck shit. And when you should be offline, really grieving and not trying to prove a point on YouTube.
Mhm.
I'm just mystified as to why nobody in Bama Girl's family has been like, yo, give me that damn computer, and you know, enough is enough. You know,
You know what I mean?
Take it,
You ain't got to
take
prove
it.
shit. If you really going through something, you really need to be grieving and stop trying to make the situation worse. So that's my take on it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I said the family's wishes come first, man.
So do you think a third party can come in and repossess or confiscate her computer?
Yeah, her husband.
But
Her
yeah,
husband.
but it's a little too late for that. She's just gonna have to live this one out. So
I don't
because the
know.
damage has been done. But
Yeah, I mean, where do you go from here? Y'all say let a few days pass or let something else come up. I
Well,
mean, hmm?
it's messed up. Like I told her I said last night, Bama Girl, don't come live for a couple of days. But she sat up there and doubled down on the situation. We don't know how close she was with him and everything. And I was like, oh Lord, damage is done.
Yeah, out of respect for the family, I think that she's probably looking at her
and
whatever amount of income she maybe makes from YouTube. I can't think of any other perspective that she could be looking at other than that. But if she cared about this young man, then that means she would also care about the family's wishes. So if they said fall back, then that's a wrap. Fall back.
Yeah,
and after um the separ- after the separation, basically Fyebabe getting on live saying, I don't fuck with you no more. Um, I did see a couple people get in Bama's ear, and they were telling her things. I guess it was their way of softening the blow, but they were telling her things well, it's clear that y'all not friends anymore, but just make sure you don't rub shoulders with the ops and the other side. And when they go into that speech, I always want to know like who, like by name, like who are they speaking about when they say that? Obviously, they trying to polarize like different sections, but I want to know who they speaking about when they say whatever you do, just make sure you don't end up over there, like because it's almost like they speaking of.
Well, the likes of Olivia Oracle, Bless Watkins, In Company, you know, Tracy. So
yeah.
mhm.
But I mean, I guess we'll have to see where everything plays out because the damage has been done. Uh,
Yeah, I don't know where they go from here. I don't know if they go live tomorrow, just let it die down. I mean, what's sad about the whole situation, we don't even know the status of what's going on. Nor should we. I don't know if we're entitled to that, but what's going on with the young man Devon and him being,
I mean, I feel like you would know what's going on had we been paying attention. So I guess despite hearing the drama on YouTube, you should still be following the story.
right. I agree.
Well, I focus.
Uh-oh, I think y'all, you got something playing in the background.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I had to put you on mute, so you can unmute when you want to. Go ahead, Urban. Sorry.
Yeah, Lemon's right. I mean, I said this before. The focus in this sector is primarily what people enjoy. Is they enjoy the drama. That's why they come here. It's entertaining. If you want to follow the story, then you'll take the initiative to follow the story about what's going on. I've been following the story, but you got to take that initiative to follow the story and find out what's going on.
Yep, because the story continues beyond YouTube. I mean, so you have to just look it up and shit like that
Right.
and follow the story.
I agree. I agree.
Yeah.
The same energy you put into the why it was brought to YouTube, you got to put the same energy into following the story and staying abreast of what's going on.
Right. Right. Bingo. And as black men here on this panel, that this is part of a reality for us, man. I'm sure all of you guys have been harassed by the police or have your own story, about your interaction with law enforcement.
It's
So
unbelievable. I don't know
real
why
life, real
it seems
life.
like 2020 just, I don't know, took a turn for the worse.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. 2020 has been a crazy year. Who would have thought when we rolled over from 2019 to 2020 that a few months into the year we'd be having a pandemic and things just gone completely crazy. This has been a crazy year, man.
I don't know. Are there any like Historical documents saying that something would happen in the year 2020. I
It's been a
don't. I guess.
crazy year.
Yeah.
2020 has been a crazy year, man, for everybody. Like we're all affected by it. This is a historical year. You know,
Yep.
this is a year to remember.
Boy, you'll forget.
Right.
I
And I
mean, with
think
this
the
whole pandemic
pandemics,
going on, yep,
right. Yeah,
it's
with this
gonna pull over to
pandemics,
2021. So
right.
Oh
With the
yeah,
pandemics, and this is something that's going to continue to affect us in the future.
yep.
You
yeah.
know, it's going to continue. We're going to continue to have these types of pandemics. This is, this is probably as humans, as man, this is really the only thing that could take us down. Is these diseases. Where we have to try to figure out how to conquer them and use science to figure out how to neutralize them. But
I agree. I agree. Well, on that note, I guess I'll bring this show to a close. I really appreciate you guys and your contribution, and thank you so much
Okay,
for
I
your
had
insight.
fun. I
Yeah,
had
thank you.
fun.
Yeah, me
Yeah.
too.
Thanks for letting me on. Everybody. And shout out to Ron P. I'm off here.
All right,
all
peace,
right,
y'all.
y'all.
Take care, y'all.
All right, Sir King. I'm a fall back, man. I appreciate you letting me on tonight, man.
Oh, you always welcome. I think a lot of people appreciate you, so don't let the comments deter you. I think a lot of people learn from you, especially when you come. A lot of people give me a lot of comments about your presence, so don't let what people say deter you. You know.
It's all good, man. I don't even read the comments, but I just come on here to talk, man, and just bond. You know what I mean? And have a discussion, man.
And we appreciate your insight. So thank you so much.
It's all good, man. All
So
right, big dog.
if you're around tomorrow, I may. I've done a lot of research on that facial recognition, and I think I found some good stuff for people to hear. So if you're around tomorrow, it'll be good to have your insight on that. So
Yeah, it sounds like it's gonna be an interesting show, man. I'm definitely gonna try to tune into that, dog.
okay, cool. I would appreciate that.
All
Yeah,
right, man.
stop by Urban. Don't let this deter you. Just keep it pushing. Show up tomorrow and speak on the situation if you can.
All right, young King Lemon.
All
All
right,
right.
for sure.
All
Thank
right,
you,
Sir
Urban.
King.
You
All
too
right,
now.
brother.
Have a good one.
All right.
Bye now.
Peace.
Hey, Lemon. Thank you again
What
for
up?
being. I appreciate the support.
No problem.
Support.
I enjoyed the live.
Yeah, I did too. But I'm glad to see you waking up to the light regarding everything. Because a couple of months ago, your viewpoints were completely different. So
Yeah, it is what it is. So I'm gonna hold this L. But
no, it's not
you
an
know,
L.
it's not an L, but it is what it is. But whatever.
No, you have to learn. You think that's what I'm saying. This is the thing. On social media, people portray themselves to be something that they're not. But over time, you see the behavior, and the behavior is a pattern. So therefore, you get to see who they really are. Now, I really would be concerned if you did not wake up or you did it, you gave excuses of what's going on. But I think you're seeing things and growing in that aspect. So it's good to see.
Yeah. Yeah.
Everybody don't conduct themselves by your principles. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I mean? So you
And I'm
can't.
learning that.
Yeah, we are not clones of each other. So we're different in every way, shape, or form.
Yep. I agree with you.
Yeah,
But it is what it is.
right.
Uh,
Well, thank you again, Lemon, and we'll be in touch. Probably after the show. I got to talk to you about something real quick.
all right. So stay in
Well,
the
just
back, or you gonna
yeah,
hit me up off?
that'll be easy. Just stay in the background.
All right, I'll stay in the back. All
All
right
right.
then, chat. Thanks for coming out and supporting over here.
Yeah.
Peace.
Peace. Thank you again. Lemon. All right, y'all. That is another one for the books. I appreciate everybody being engaged. We had a lot of number of viewers, so we had a lot of participation in the chat. So I do thank you all for doing that. Feel free to give it a click in the view. Well, you gave it a click in the view, excuse me. Feel free to thumbs up the video. Feel free to subscribe if you're new to Avatar Nation. I am on Spotify. I will be doing, some podcasts and stuff over there. Just trying to expand Avatar Nation. So give me 1 second as I try to bring that up real quick. Hold on 1 second. All right, so I'm over there on Spotify. Feel free to check me out over there on Spotify. What I'm envisioning regarding Spotify is that, just to collaborate with some people who may be chatters who don't feel comfortable coming on the platform on StreamYard. We could just do some podcasts over there, talk about things that are happening over here, but also some real world news that you can use. So feel free to check me out on Spotify. All right. Thank you so much, everybody. And feel free to hit the Insomnia Fund on Cash App, $ Sir King Crown, if you so choose to. And on that note, I think we are going to close the show. Thank you all for your support. I think tomorrow will be an interesting day. Tomorrow will be definitely an interesting day. And we'll see how things develop. All right. Thank you guys once again. And have a good night, everybody. Take care. Uh-oh. Sorry, y'all. Hold on.